and we should be live now.
Sweet.
I'm here with Mah-Dry-Bread. We're talking about who killed Jeffrey Epstein.
Apparently that's who we're talking about. Dev told me that 10 seconds ago. Hi, everybody. I'm famous Nancy Drew Let's Player Mah-Dry-Bread.
Wait. You played a Nancy Drew game?
Yes, and it turns out the company... I just did a Let's Play of a Nancy Drew game. It was one of my favorite Let's Plays that we've ever done. And the company that made the game emailed me to tell me that me and my friends' dumbass Let's Play of some Nancy Drew game where we're like just goofing on it and saying really inappropriate stuff the whole time. They said it's one of their absolute favorites around the office. So they're sending me the new one. Yes!
That's great, man. That's excellent.
Oh, it feels so satisfying, because I actually really liked that game. That was fun. Nancy Drew is voiced by Rouge the Bat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the same voice actors. We noticed like 2 episodes in when Brandon just randomly says, "Oh my god, that's Rouge the Bat!" And we're like, holy shit! And then we just kept making all hail Shadow jokes.
So what I recall is that the last time that happened to me, it was about 4 years ago on my own gaming channel when I did a playthrough of Shadow Puppeteer. And the developer liked that a whole bunch, and I actually had a pretty good professional interaction with those guys, and I got some stuff out of it. I met a few people. It kind of snowballed into a few things. It was nice. That's a good game, Shadow Puppeteer. Have you played it?
I haven't, but I feel like I know the name. Sorry, I'm typing out the tweet. Let me Google that.
All right, what it is it's a co-op platformer, puzzle platformer, where one person plays in the 3D world as the little boy, and the other person plays as the little boy's shadow, and the shadows that are cast on the back wall of the level are a 2D environment.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing from the screenshots here. This looks interesting.
Yeah, so you have to, like, as the 3D character, you have to, like, push blocks into position, so there's, a platform for the 2D character to go through, because you both have to get through the level, right? It's a really fun game. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that looks cool. The shadow on the wall, like the shadow character, something about that art style makes me think of Don't Starve.
Yeah, I don't know if they're the same guys or if they were influenced or something, but another very similar game was Little Nightmares, I think.
Hold on.
At least like thematically.
Nightmares.
It's like another puzzle platformer. Honestly, I just like indie puzzle platformers. They usually get to be pretty good. And they usually look pretty cool,
I've seen a little bit of a Let's Play of this forever ago, back when it was new. 2017, yeah. I saw a little bit of a Let's Play of that one. That one looked interesting.
Okay, well, let's actually talk a little bit about some things that aren't just us being losers.
What? Video games in the politics stream? Sorry, everybody.
Well, okay, here's the situation, all right? You knew of my channel because of Nicole, because of Camera Lady, from back in the day. Yeah. But I didn't know... From
back in the day because of getting retweeted a lot by Lord Cat, who I was a fan of, and still am.
Yeah, because Lord Cat's actually pretty cool. I know him as well. He's pretty cool.
He's super cool. Yeah. He's so nice. He retweeted one of my... Or, no, he posted on Facebook one of my Let's Plays when I was, like... 19. Like he helped grow my channel when I probably had like 20 subscribers and my channel sucked. I don't know why he did that, but it was really nice of him. Yeah. I think I gained like 5 subscribers, but whatever, the gesture was really nice.
Well, I actually didn't know about you until the Don Thacker video that I put out. Was it like 2 years ago or something?
Something like that. I never get political on Twitter anymore, but like that pissed me off.
Yeah. So the situation, for those of you who are new, because I think I might have had half the subs back then that I do now. For those of you that are new, I did a video talking about basically... what was the girl's name? The one he was in the feud with? There's Don Thacker, and then there was the one who was like filing all the false DMCAs on everybody.
Alex Mauer?
Alex Mauer, that's who it was.
Yeah. I had emails with her, and she was horrible. Yeah. I could dig out the emails and show them to you, because I made them public, I believe, because, oh my god, what a horrible human being. Like, taunting people over their livelihood.
Yes, so the situation was, Alex Mauer and Don Thacker had like a contract dispute. And Alex Mauer's recourse to this was not to take him to court. It was to file DMCAs against everyone who did Let's Plays of the game that she worked on, because she didn't get paid for her work on the game. And this earned the ire of literally everyone, and they all went after Alex Mauer, and she did deserve it on some level. But then I looked into it, and I realized that, yeah, Don Thacker actually didn't pay her and didn't pay anybody. And there was like a whole bunch of evidence and a whole bunch of interviews from former employees of his. So it turns out the situation was actually just shitty person versus shitty person. And so
I had no idea of that until you made the video too.
So I do this video of it. And then like Don Thacker's lawyer, who is the YouTube lawyer Leonard French, decides to come after me. And that's how you discovered me, because you were like a fan of Leonard French at the time, right?
Yeah, well, I had emailed a little bit with Leonard during the whole Alex Mauer thing, because I emailed when the whole thing happened. I think I emailed why am I blanking his name? Oh, this is killing me. I was just watching him yesterday. What's wrong with me? Whatever. Emailed a YouTuber who was Sid Alpha. Thank you. I emailed Sid Alpha because he was publicly collecting stuff on the story. So I emailed him and I shared the emails with him. I believe I shared the emails with him. I at least emailed him and let him know what's going on. And he told me to get in contact with Leonard French. So I watched a little bit of Leonard French. I emailed him. Leonard asked for the screenshots of all my emails or forwarding it or whatever. I sent it to him somehow, and he said, like, okay, these are actually probably very useful because it showed very clear malicious intent. So I sent those to him. I joined the Discord server for Leonard Fringe, and the people there are very nice to me. And I just kind of vaguely kept up with things from there. And then, I didn't really hear a whole lot about it other than I was following the case through YouTube and the channels covering it. And then, like, all of this time later, all of a sudden, I hear about it again from you. And I had, I had seen Don Thacker talking a little bit in that group chat before, but I didn't really know anything about him. I didn't know much about the case outside of what was covered on the YouTube channels. And so when I saw you talk about it and say, like, this guy actually probably did something really shitty, that pissed me off because, like, all of a sudden, as soon as I speak out against it in any way, all the people who were so good to me before and all the people who tried to support me and were genuinely very kind to me when I was going through a rough time and when Alex Mauer was targeting me and trying to take down my whole job, all of a sudden they were being shit to me because all I did was say that there might be another side to it. Not that Alex Mauer didn't do something awful, but that the other person might have done something too and that we should investigate both of them equally. And all of a sudden people are being shitty to me over that. That pissed me off.
Yeah, so I discovered you because you had made a video basically on my behalf at some point, where you're saying, hey, listen, how come, maybe it is the case that both people on the sides of this dispute are terrible and they've both done bad things. Why is it that just talking about it makes everyone come after me and makes everyone come after Dev? So that's actually how I first noticed you. But at the time, like, we were both, around the same size of channel, I think. And then you, the past 3 months or 4 months or whatever it was, I'm looking at your Social Blade right now. Maybe I can bring it up. Give me a second here.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So here's Dry-Bread's Social Blade. It should be here. So yeah, let's see, where's the subs? Yeah, so you had from May 7th, 2017, no, January 2017, you had 839 subs. And then it kind of goes 800, 800, 500, 600, and then you get to like a point where you're gaining several thousands a month, then several tens of thousands a month.
Every Saturday I get a dead minimum of like 1,300.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Like, you blew up. For a while, there was like a low-key competition of which one of us was going to blow up first because we were around the same size, and then you beat me to it.
I didn't know there was a competition because we were in totally different genres of our biggest channels.
Yeah, but like, I mean, in a sense, there's always a competition. But the way to do it is to be friendly about it, or not to be like malicious. Like there's.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want both of us to succeed.
Me too.
So like, I was at 61,000 subscribers. I've been doing a video a day minimum for about 8 years at that point. Maybe just a little less than 8 years. I've been doing YouTube in general for 10 years. And then just all of a sudden I started blowing up because my Pokemon Challenge videos that I was doing for fun all of a sudden started getting recommended on homepages. In fact, you got a super chat a minute ago from someone who was saying that they found me through Advanced Wars, glad to see the Pokemon Challenge just took off and everything. I had a lot of Let's Plays over the years where it worked its way into the top result for those games. And so I'd pick up 10, 20,000 views off episode 1 of those multiple different things over the years. So it's not like I was a super small channel, but all of a sudden, like, it's completely dwarfed by the Pokemon Challenge thing. And I haven't changed my channel at all. I added one series, that's one extra video every single Saturday. The entire rest of the channel is identical to before I blew up, because I still do my stupid Nancy Drew Let's Plays and my Dwarf Fortress tutorial that is mostly me and my friend joking about Sonic Underground. And like the channel, I have not compromised on literally anything with my channel. All I did was add an extra 25 to 40 hours to my work week.
Oh, well, that's still a fair amount.
that's well, yeah, but that's kind of how I operate. Is many times in the past, I've had a series that got really popular, and if I get burnt out on it, I just stop, and I just keep doing the unpopular thing, because the one constant through my whole channel has always been the Let's Plays, because improv is the thing that I'm most passionate about in terms of what I do content on. And so, people always ask, like, what are you going to do when Pokemon challenges aren't as popular? And I always say, I don't know. Am I still having fun? Then I'm going to do Pokemon challenges. Am I not? Then I've already ended it. It's that easy. It's what I've always done. Like, a bunch of people probably know me from creepypasta readings, like, 6 years ago. Yeah, those are popular, and I stopped doing them while they were my most popular thing by a landslide, because I got burnt out on them. Wasn't fun. I sucked at them anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, very clearly, Game Boomers is not my most popular thing, but I still do it, right? Like, I actually had a comment. Let's see if I can find it. There's a comment very recently that kind of describes how I feel about it. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah. This guy named Trevor, he mentioned on a video recently, I don't enjoy your gaming content, but I'm not a jackass, and I realize everyone needs something that they can do to disconnect. And if you can make some money while doing it, then great for you. And see, that's the thing. Like, he tried it out. He didn't like it, and that's fine. Like,
yeah, I like that comment.
Yeah, not everything that I have to do has to appeal to everyone, right? Like, I got 500 people for the weekly sip this week. I got 800 people watching Dumping with Scrump live last week, and then I got, I think, something like 55 people watching Death Stranding last night. And yeah, the numbers don't matter that much as long as there's enough money to put food on the table. I'm okay.
Yeah. 55 people for Death Stranding. That's really good for Game Boomers. Game Boomers has been getting growing. What am I trying to say? Getting a better average viewership.
Yes, it has. About 2 years ago, it was around 5 average viewers a stream. Now it's around 50. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, last time I popped my head on, I think the average was 30. And I'm pretty sure I remember thinking the average was a little higher than before, too.
Yeah, it really depends on the game. Like, when we did Jedi Fallen Order, we kept a pretty consistent 75 for that first stream.
Awesome.
And then when we did Pokemon, we had probably about 65 consistently. So it really depends. Like, for example, like some older games, we're probably going to get like 30 or 40. It's just how it is. Last night was about 50. So in any case, even with that few viewership, I still have like 125 subs on Twitch, which works out to about 250 American, which works out to like my rent paid, because my rent is very low right now. So
I fucking wish my rent was like that. God damn. Holy shit. God oh.
So I live in the middle of
over
nowhere.
Here, I got this fucking shoebox of a townhouse paying almost $2,000 a month, nothing included. Jesus.
Yeah, so my place is split. It's a house split between 3 people, and it's 880. And that includes not internet, it includes electricity. So, but also we live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You do
live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We live in the middle of
That's in fairness. God, I've been looking so much into real estate prices recently now that my money's been getting better, and like it's getting increasingly obvious to me that I probably just have to leave Canada. Like I want like a 2,000 square foot house. That's the kind of house you can have a family in, you can grow old in, like that can just be your life's house, God damn, the fucking to get that around here is over $1 million.
Well, you live like just outside of Toronto, right?
Yeah, it's like an hour drive.
Yeah, so man.
hate it in Southern Ontario. And like, it's at the point where I could spend over $1 million to get an okay house around here, or I could move to North Carolina or Georgia, pay $210,000, which is like 5 times less. I would have lower tax, lower cost of living, a fucking house in like a year and a half. I could buy 2 houses, get a house for my mom, could buy a 3rd one, get one for my sister. Like, with that kind of price, good God.
To be fair, you could also do the same up here.
If I want to live in the middle of nowhere, I could live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the same population as Toronto, to get a full house, better than the ones here. $215,000. Charlotte, same population as Toronto. What the fuck, man? What's wrong with Canada?
Well, how would you live? How would you be able to go to the States? Like, do you have dual citizenship or something?
No, I would get a visa and apply to be a citizen once I've owned property there.
Oh, okay. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
Yeah. You don't need to have owned property there to apply to be a citizen, obviously. You have to have lived there for a while. It depends on which state, I believe. I'm still looking into the process. However, getting a visa for it is incredibly easy. I have no criminal record. I'm bringing my job with me. I'm fluent in English. I'm from fucking Canada. Like, it's not hard to get in if you're from Southern Ontario in terms of just getting in legally.
Yeah.
Come to the South, join us. Yeah, I'm planning. Southeast is what I like. I like North Carolina. I like Georgia. I like Tennessee. There's good places in the Northeast.
I don't know if I could live in the States. I'm not sure. If only because of the temperature. I like cold temperatures.
I do like cold temperatures, and the places I'd be moving to would be sweltering for me, but you know what? I can afford air conditioning there. So, yeah, I'm not that worried.
I guess if you want, yeah, you can go to Mexico and just cross the border. And then...
I feel like that's an unnecessary risk, Dev.
But see, then you won't even have to get a visa, because if you go through the Mexican border, the Democrats will just let you in and become a citizen, no problem.
I want a visa. I want to go to the United States and apply to be a citizen the normal way. If I'm moving to the States, I want to be an American. That's how I want to do it. I'm not one of these Canadians that hates America because it's the only way that we can get our cultural boners going. There's nothing more embarrassing about Canada than Canadians who base their entire culture on being not American. How embarrassing is that?
Yes,
Could you imagine if the English based their whole culture on not being Irish? Ugh.
Well, to be fair, they kind of do. Well, yeah, I kind of agree though, because like there's a lot of Canadians out there who just want to shit on America because they're the big brother, right? And Canada's the little brother. And it's like, hold on a minute. Canada is wealthy because of our proximity to the States and our trade relationship. Like, if you just removed, like, if just suddenly a wizard appeared and waved his wand, and then suddenly America and all of its people were gone, like the landmass was just an ocean, like the American ocean, Canada would be so fucked. We would be done, you know?
Oh god, yeah. We have such a ridiculous advantage by having the richest nation in the world the richest nation in the world that doesn't like mass execute people for saying the wrong thing. The richest real nation in the world is our neighbor. We have this enormous ass border with them. We're full of natural resources. The majority of the largest amount of oil from any country that the United States gets is from Canada. They trade with us because fucking obviously, like there's this weird political thing in Canada of when we trade with the United States and everything. This has been a thing genuinely since Wilfrid Laurier was in power of Canadian political parties will try to slander the other political party by trying to say that they're not being like good loyalists to the crown and they're not trading enough with England and they're trying to suck up to America and they just want to be Americans. This has been a thing in Canadian politics for literally hundreds of years. And it blows my mind because it is so easy to dismantle this argument of, no, it's not that we hate the English. It's not that we don't like the United Kingdom or whatever, or that we don't respect our past with them. Some do, some don't, whatever. There's an argument to be made there. It's that it's a lot easier to trade with your neighbor than the guy a third of the way across the world, across an entire ocean. One's more expensive than the other. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, it's also the fact that, America, for all the many faults America has, I would still prefer America to be the world power than Russia or China.
Yes, 1,000 times over.
And for all the bad things America's done, there's been many, many bad things. It's like, you know what? We all make mistakes, especially when you're holding the reins of empire. America's probably the best that we've ever had so far in terms of like world powers. When it was all the various European powers being colonialists, that didn't really work out for anybody. When it was all the Asian powers, that was usually a bloodbath. America's been the best one so far in human history. So, let's take it. Everyone asking who you are, I'll put your channel in the chat. It's this guy.
Oh, sure. Hi, everybody. Professional Nancy Drew Let's Player.
You're gonna go by that.
The unofficial tagline of the channel has become "Come for the Pokemon challenges, stay for Nancy Drew."
And the reason that we're talking, mainly is because one, you blew up recently, and I'm trying to leech some success from your fame.
Yep.
And two, also because like we've been like basically internet friends for like 2 years, and
we've been wanting to do something forever.
Yeah, and you don't really have a place to talk politics seriously on your channel because it's entirely a gaming channel.
Yeah, like I used to bring it up a little bit on Twitch, but I even stopped doing that really because, God, politics are unavoidable. So if I'm gonna talk about politics, I'd rather talk about it on a place that is specifically for politics because, God, people need some fucking escapism. Like, I want to keep politics out of my gaming stuff just because, God, no one tunes into fucking Nancy Drew to hear about who I voted for or some bullshit.
Well, see, I still make political jokes when I do Game Boomers, but that's
sure.
That's different than actually seriously discussing an issue,
I'll do a little. Go to his channel, first thing I see is a Duck Dynasty Let's Play. Hell yeah, I made that my channel trailer. It's a best of highlight video of the funniest parts of my Duck Dynasty Let's Play. Infamous because I didn't tell Brandon what we were playing before I started it. So if you go on my channel, you're like some little kid, you're watching your Pokemon challenges or whatever, and you're like, oh man, this is really fun. What else do you do? You go, you hit my page, it starts auto-playing the channel trailer, and it's, welcome to Duck Dynasty. You hear Brandy, he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I love that channel trailer.
That's pretty good. There's actually like a bunch of people that I recognize as being like, like longtime viewers of mine in the chat room, like Veruca Saltpile, there's Undead Ocarina, and they're all like, Dev, this guy? He's actually here. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, man.
It's okay. Getting mildly internet famous is fucking wild, Dev. I had my friend. This is not a humble brag. Mm-hmm. My friend Dan, who's the head editor of Game Theory. Yeah. He was at a wedding recently, just a friend's wedding. He talked to a completely random other guest of the wedding. The guests started bringing up Pokemon challenges, and he's like, do you watch Mah-Dry-Bread? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, Mah-Dry-Bread used to edit for me. we do a Minecraft stream together like every month. Like, what the fuck? My other friend, Truth, he's on my Dwarf Fortress series. He went over to his work friend's house after work. His work friend brought up my channel. And now he thinks Truth is the coolest guy in the world because Truth was just like, oh yeah, him? Yeah, click on his Dwarf Fortress Let's Play. I'm on his channel. Like, there's people who just know me now, and it's fucking wild.
Yeah, like for example, I mean, I am at 71,500 subs, so I'm definitely behind you, and you've definitely jumped ahead in the great race. But even for me, people have actually like slightly begun to notice me. For example, my UPS delivery guy, before he got transferred to a different job, he watched my channel, and
that's awesome.
I like opened the door and he like recognized me, and it was kind of strange. But then he was like delivering he was delivering all my props and my equipment for like a year to this guy, and he was always really excited. He was like, so what are you using this for? And it was always that kind of situation whenever he showed up.
That's awesome. I've never been recognized in person, but I very rarely leave the house, in fairness.
Well, to be honest, I think the only reason I was recognized in person because he actually came to my door, because I don't leave the house either.
Yeah. For me, it's my litany of fucking medical conditions. But now that I'm fairly healthy and still able to like walk around and crap. The main reason I don't leave the house is because of my aphantasia. I can't picture things in my head, and so navigation is very difficult. So the farthest I really go outside the house is just to go take out the garbage, like once a week or something.
And you want to go to the States?
Well, yeah, but anywhere I travel, I have to be escorted. So it's not like I'm going to be going. I'm going to be taking my wife with me. Like,
you know what I'll do? I'll just bring you to like here, and I'll tell you it's the States, and it'll be fine.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to fall for that. I think as soon as I get any product and see that there's a French label on it, I don't think I'm going to be tricked for much longer. Like, that's funny because this looks like your recording studio, huh?
There's a big green wall.
The one thing I worry about going to the States, though, is I do worry that Fatima could be stopped at the border. Just because she has been before.
Is it because she's brown?
Yes. Now, she doesn't look super Arab unless you know what to look for. Because she does have pretty fair skin. Although her facial features are fairly Turkish. She did get stopped at the border once. Just like she used to go to the... You know, a lot of Canadians here drive to New York to buy stuff because even after conversion of our currency being crap, it's still cheaper to buy goods in New York than it is... fucking all of Canada.
Oh yeah.
So she used to just drive over the border for day trips all the time to buy stuff. One day she went with her dad back when she still lived with her parents. And he's very obviously Arab, and although like his English is fluent in everything, he's a professor at a university. Mm-hmm. He's got a big beard, he's brown. He's got a bit of an accent, even though you can understand him fine. So she got stopped at the border once. They like took her phone and asked for her password, and she didn't know that she could say no to that. She was detained for like 6 hours because it turns out that like he had a ping on his visa for overstaying his welcome like by 1 day 15 years ago when he used to travel to Seattle for work when he worked for like fucking Microsoft or something.
Yeah.
So like he had his visa was expired by 1 day and he tried to go over the border and got pinged for it. And so when he tried to go across in the car with her, that happened, and they just drove back. They got released, but they just drove back because they didn't want to go to the States after that ordeal. That was years and years and years ago, and she never did anything. But I wonder if it'll be in their system somewhere of, oh, double check this person, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Of which she also has no criminal record, so I think it'd be fine.
See, I've been thinking about it for a bit. I'm not sure if I would want to live in the States, even if I could. I mean, maybe. But I do like the fact that living in Canada and then getting paid in American money means that I have so much more money.
Oh, I get paid in Great British pounds. It's fucking wild. Like the conversion rate from Great British pound to Canadian is just ludicrous. It's what is it, like 60 cents on the dollar?
Something like that, yeah.
It's wild. Like, it's the 5th highest value currency in the world, and it's the 1st highest if you don't count the countries that, like, behead their own people for sneezing. Like, every country above it on the list is, like, places where you wouldn't even consider visiting. If your friend said that they were visiting, you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you fucking idiot? Like, you would never let your family member go there. It's like, fucking... What is the highest currency in the world, everybody? I think it wasn't Jordan. Jordan's like 3rd place. At least Jordan, you can like smuggle someone through to then get to Turkey to like get a gateway into the civilized world. You're less likely to die in Jordan. That's how Fatima came to Canada. She's a war refugee. She was fleeing the Gulf War and they went through Jordan because Jordan was like a hub to get out of the Gulf War.
Yeah.
So at least there's one positive thing I can say about Jordan there. The highest currency in the world, I think, is Kuwait. I don't want to go to Kuwait. I'm not getting paid in Kuwaiti money.
Yeah.
No one will accept that shit. Like, the US dollar is accepted. The Great British Pound is accepted. People look at you sideways if you suddenly pull out a Kuwaiti dollar, like...
Well, yeah, there's a few reasons why I wouldn't want to leave Canada, I think. And I think money is up there because they're actually cheaper living here for me because, one, I live so cheaply in the middle of nowhere. But two, because whenever I get paid in American money and it goes through the conversion process, I end up with like 50% more money, all things considered, considering how cheap things are where I live. So that's also one of the reasons why, even though I want to get the fuck out of the ice hole that I'm currently in, I don't know, man. Like, first of all, Toronto sucks. I've spent enough time in Toronto knowing that I never want to live there again, ever. Period. Vancouver's really expensive. It's one of the nicest cities in the world, but it's really expensive. Ottawa is less expensive than Toronto or Vancouver, and it's still a really nice city. But I mean, you're still going to be spending a lot. Like,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I have a friend who's an animator for like a Netflix series. She lives in Ottawa, and I think she pays something like $1,500 for an apartment, and $2,000 might get you like a house a month, like to rent it. So it's like it's still a fair bit of money. Like in Toronto, $2,000 gets you an apartment, not a house, but still, nonetheless.
Yeah. Airborne Osborne in the chat is a presumptuous motherfucker because she did not break international law because, one, she was probably 2 years old, and two, yes, war refugees are supposed to stay in the first country they come in, yes. However, she was in the car, her parents drove to Jordan, and then from Jordan, they applied to a number of countries for political asylum, and Canada was the first to accept it. There was nothing illegal in that process. You presumed, my friend, perhaps you spend a little bit too much time on political YouTube.
On poll on 4chan?
Yeah.
I mean, there's arguments for and against the whole refugee
Her parents
situation.
then shrug. No, you need to listen to the whole response, Osborne.
Hold on a minute.
Hoisted by your own petard.
So there's arguments for and against, right? Like, for example, I did a video, I think it was What is a Refugee? I don't know if you saw that one. Because I know that you actually watch my stuff kind of regularly.
All of them, yeah. All
okay.
of it, but the weekly sip. I stopped watching when it became live because I just don't have the time to keep up with the live ones.
Yeah, I understand. Some people have complained about that, and it's like, I need some kind of a live show, frankly, because it's how you get paid, you know? Streams make money in the way that videos don't, unfortunately. Just the nature of YouTube right now. So I figured
it's a bummer because a lot of those kind of weekly recap shows have gone to the live format over the years, and it does make you way more money.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer because as a viewer, I do prefer it. As a viewer, I do prefer it when it's not live, when it's more edited like that. But as a video editor, since I was 14 years old, I know that that's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But in terms of the whole refugee situation, there are people who are like, I said it in the video, they're trying to redefine refugee to include economic refugees. So the idea is that if your country's economy is doing poorly, you can apply for asylum status in another country. And that just sounds ridiculously stupid. Like that sounds like, one, that's not what an actual refugee is. And two, if you want to make the country's economic status worse, take away all the people available to work. Like that'll do it. It'll make when you leave a country that has economic problems, you make the country worse overall because now you're not there to help improve it.
Your best and your brightest that are the people who are hardworking enough to find a way out of the country could have really helped that country. And I don't blame the individuals for wanting to leave because a lot of these countries are in a bad way. I really don't blame them for wanting to leave. However, it is bad for the country.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's like I have a couple friends who one of them lives in Saudi Arabia and she is a lesbian. And so I've been trying to help her find a way out of the country, preferably into somewhere like Canada where you can't get extradited back to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's one of these things. Would she have to get out of the country illegally? Yeah, probably. Is she in imminent danger of dying? No, she lives a pretty stable life, but she can't be her. Mm-hmm. And I know that if she were to get into Canada, she would be completely fucking normal here. She types exactly like every other person of her age group. Like, to the point that I need to get her to translate things because she is using so much young person slang because she just turned 18 or something, that, like, she could have been from any country in the world. I have another friend who's from the United Arab Emirates. Same deal. She's a lesbian. She's 20, I think, now.
Dude,
and
just
she's got a really
introduce them to
cushy
each other.
life there. I don't think that's a good idea till they get out of the country. But she's in the United Arab Emirates, super cushy lifestyle and everything, and she's quite happy there. But she does understand that she can't be a lesbian there, and she kind of wants out based on that. She ended up going to a university within the United Arab Emirates, and so I hope things work out quite well for her. But I met her because she just like was a fan of the show, and she just plays World of Warcraft with people and stuff, and it's like she is indistinguishable from anyone from any other country in that chat room. Like they grew up on the internet. They're just like everybody else. Like, especially when it comes to Saudi Arabia, young people in Saudi Arabia sound like New Yorkers in the way that they talk. You can't tell their accent apart from like a subtle New York thing. They are completely integrated with Western society to a shocking degree. I mean, there's a professional wrestler on WWE right now who's a big star from Saudi Arabia. Young guy, he's kind of a prodigy, really, really good, called Mansoor. And he's actually kind of a friend of mine. He actually streams on Twitch. And you might know him because of the He Will Not Divide Us stream back in the day. Nope. You remember the He Will Not Divide Us stream from Shia LaBeouf in New York?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you remember all the videos of the funny people trolling it? You remember Jesus Sings Snake Eater, and it's a brown guy who looks a lot like Snake with an eye patch on singing Snake Eater into the camera. That guy went on to be a WWE wrestler. So that's Mansoor. That's Mansoor. He's Big Money Manny. He's fucking awesome. He's a hilarious guy. Sounds kind of like a New Yorker. Now, he spent a decent amount of time in California, mind you, but that's kind of people who are still in Saudi Arabia. The youth of Saudi Arabia, generally, are really normal. Mm-hmm. Like, really Western normal.
Well, let's be fair, though. I mean, if we're going to talk about, the Muslim question, it's usually not the Saudis causing too much trouble. I mean, they do. There's some serious problems there. But it's like the ISIS types that are like the ultimate problem. And they're not usually like the Saudis. Like,
I'm atheist. I don't have a whole lot of love for religion, but I don't dislike religious people. That's the thing, is I separate religion from religious people, because your average religious person is a completely normal human being. Mm-hmm. I don't like religious institutions very much. And I do think that people who do awful things in the name of religion are often, maybe they've been driven down that, maybe that path was easier for them to go down on some level due to the religion, but at the same time, they made a lot of personal decisions that took them down that path. It's on them, not really on the religion. It's when it gets into shit like Wahhabism. Yeah. I'm not even against Islam. I don't like Islam. I'm completely fine with Muslims. Talk to them every day. No problems. It's shit like Wahhabism where it's like it's intentionally trying to funnel people into insanity.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, isn't it?
It's like we decided, let's take this religion that has the ability to give you an excuse to do something awful and try to make it as easy as fucking possible and see what happens. Like, Wahhabism is terrible.
There's something I've been thinking about for a minute, like, not for a minute, for longer than a minute, but you know what I mean. Whenever, an incel shoots up a theater or something, or like attacks with a van, whatever it was, mm-hmm. and first of all, he's always blamed as a lone wolf shooter, and secondly, he's always like his mental health is always talked about. Whenever an Islamist attacks somebody, it's always a case that they're like representative of some kind of terrorist cell, or there's some kind of, or it's representative of Islamic extremism. And I'm just wondering, like, maybe your comment is actually what it is. It's a philosophy designed to turn people towards insanity. So it's actually both of those things. Maybe under different circumstances, those extremists that blow themselves up, or that decide to, get into a machete fight inside of a Frozen 2 showing in Birmingham, a couple of days ago. Maybe those people would not have done those things and would not have had the mental problems that they have, specifically because of the faith that they follow.
Maybe. That's definitely something that I've thought about as well, is like, how often is the religion genuinely like the tipping point? Like, you can say like maybe this person's mentally unwell, or they became mentally unwell, or there's like so many factors that go into everything in life. And you have to wonder, did this thing that we're blaming it on, or that we refuse to blame it on, was that the straw that broke the camel's back? And should we do anything about it morally? Can we do anything about it? Like, there's such a litany of questions, and I don't even know how we would determine if it was the catalyst. I don't know. It's such a huge fucking topic that it's so difficult to get into. Like,
Edward Osborne says it's beyond mental illness, though. It's a pervasive culture. This is what I mean. What I'm saying is that the pervasive culture and the mental illness are the same thing.
Yeah, you could look at it like that. Like, not a chemical imbalance necessarily, but a learned behavior through culture that is really negative. Like, murderers, serial killers almost always have like really abusive mother. That's basically a mental illness that they've gained through the environment that they grew up in.
Yeah.
And so if that happens like that, then I imagine it could also happen with other things of growing up in a culture or in an environment that is very, very hostile or teaches you to think in a really, really negative or aggressive way. You could argue that with serial killers that, the reason they were probably, when they're abused as a kid and everything, and they get in that mindset that one day makes them a serial killer, you could argue that they were probably abused because of mental health problems of the mother, and they probably inherited some of those mental health problems. And I'm sure that's true in a lot of cases, but there's no way that's true in every case.
Well, there's also just the fact that, sociopathy is a lot more common than we like to think. It's like 1 in every 100 people is a sociopath. And it's like, well...
Is it really that common?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that common.
Jesus. What, like...
Well, and the thing about sociopaths is that, like, they're not like psychopaths, right?
Yeah.
Sociopaths, what they're going to do is they're not going to, like, tip their hand. They're still going to act civilized in most situations. They just do shit if they know they can get away with it.
A sociopath probably doesn't think they're a sociopath too.
Yeah, well, no. I've read some, like, there was a person who outright admitted he was a sociopath on Reddit, and he was like, AMA. Just I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel about all this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, they know that they're sociopaths, but they don't care. The point is that they don't care. They're very low on emotion, basically. Things don't really faze them. Things don't bother them. And they do whatever the fuck they want all the time. And so the thing with that situation is that those people are still relatively easy to control. Like, not in terms of like direct control, but like you can incentivize them to do things that make them not self-destructive. So they kind of blend into the crowd, but you still have to kind of know that in the proper situation, they will do stuff that will hurt other people. So that is one thing that I like about just, say, a capitalist system, is that it incentivizes most people's greed towards a general good rather than trying to fight it. And it's like, okay, well, if you're going to be a shit heel anyway, let's at least make the best of that bad situation. That's basically what capitalism is. And whenever you're doing any kind of social program, you really have to plan for the eventuality that somebody is going to exploit it. And that would be the sociopath.
I mean, that's a big part of the democratic process, is the assumption that one day you are going to have a terrible prime minister or president, and you're giving them the least ability to fuck up everything when they get in power. Like, this is just any system. Any system needs to be built with fail-safes. Any good system needs to be built with fail-safes. Like, okay, Soviet Union didn't work out, believe it. Look, spoiler alert on history, everybody. The Soviet Union didn't work out.
Communism doesn't work, guys. Communism doesn't work.
Look, real communism, Dev. I don't know if it's ever been tried. I don't know. Look,
you know what?
Those weren't real communism.
Listen. You know what else hasn't been tried? Real fascism.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's our next experiment. Someone's gonna fucking clip that.
I know that you have some very far left people who watch you, and because you keep yourself apolitical on your channel, they don't really know necessarily the depths. But do you think this will get back to them, and you'll lose them as viewers?
Maybe. But I'm okay with that. If you're gonna drop people, if you're gonna drop someone just because you have political differences, and especially when they're not pressing their politics on you and they're not trying to disown you for politics, I think it's a really shitty thing to do, to just not like them based on that. I mean, I guess there's a tipping point. Like, if my politics were like, lol, kill these people. Okay, I can understand that, but like, mine's pretty live and let live. I'm cool with you voting against me. My wife didn't vote for the same person as me. We make jokes about it around the house. Like,
Do you
who
feel comfortable
cares?
saying who the two of you voted for?
Yeah, why not? This is a political environment. Fatima voted for Maxime Bernier, which is she voted for.
Hold on a minute. So she's an immigrant.
The Iraqi war refugee voted for Maxime Bernier. Yes.
Yeah, the People's Populist Party, the shitlord. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. She really liked his platform and everything. Like, she's not very politically active, but I gave her the rundown on all the parties and everything. We talked back and forth about it plenty, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go for him, and so she went for him, and
that's who I voted for, by the way, as well.
Yeah. I quite liked him as well. I thought he did quite well in the debate, and I quite liked him, but I didn't vote for him because I knew that he had no chance to win, and I hate strategic voting, but fuck. So I voted Conservative Party, who, if they follow through on their plans, I generally like it. It's uneventful, it's boring, but I have a criteria list of when I can't vote for someone anymore. Top one is if they're openly calling for like human rights abuses, then instant no. Second one is have they been in a position of definite political power based on votes, and they flagrantly not just didn't get some things done that they said they were going to get done, but actively said that they're not going to do it anymore. And if they do that, then I can no longer trust anything that they say to get voted, because they've proven that they'll go back on it. So that crossed off Justin Trudeau because of voter reform.
Yes.
I supported him based on voter reform.
So did I. I voted for Trudeau for the first time. Yeah.
I supported Trudeau because of voter reform. I thought that I generally agreed with him on the campaign trail. I was not sure of him. It wasn't like a confident pick. It was a thing of, okay, well, I'm not happy with Harper, and the NDP never win, and I'm not really that happy with the direction the NDP is going anyway. And it's not like I can vote for the Bloc or anything. So it's like, what are my alternatives? Like, truly, it is just the three in that election. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm supporting. I guess Justin's my guy. And then like, fucking like a month later, he's getting grilled by he's getting grilled by, why am I blanking on his name? The previous NDP guy, Beard.
Tom Mulcair.
Tom Mulcair, thank you. He was getting grilled by Mulcair on when are you doing voter reform, and he just stood up, and a little, and he started with, I've listened to Canadians, and you already hear the murmurings fucking starting, because you know what that means when it comes out of Justin's mouth. And he just flat out says he's not going to do it. Like, and he got booed. He got rightfully booed. Like, dude, it's been like a month, and you just said, I'm not doing the thing you voted for. Well, he just said he's not doing it. Come on.
So I did a video actually about like the election's aftermath, and did you see where Justin Trudeau actually explained his reasoning as to why he turned his back on the promise for electoral reform?
Took him fucking long enough, right? That he finally. It took him like 4 years to come up with a bullshit excuse. His excuse wasn't correct.
Well, his excuse was basically that the electoral reform in Canada would allow other parties to win.
But the way he worded it, he was like, if you could all have a second pick, then it would be an unfair advantage to the Liberals. And I think what he was implying is that, oh, the NDP wouldn't be our spoiler party anymore. That's not how that works, and you know it, Justin.
Yeah, that's not exactly how that would work.
But that's the thing, is it sounds real to the average Canadian. That probably sounded like a good reason, because they probably just heard it in passing. They're like, oh yeah, because NDP wouldn't play spoiler for them anymore. And they just think about it, that baseline. Like, that was a calculated lie to tell to people. That was fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know what he said is he said something along the lines of, if we change the way that Canada's electoral system works such that smaller parties got more seats proportionate to how many votes they got, rather than things being judged by riding, that would mean that a whole bunch more extremist parties would make it into Parliament, and it would be dangerous for Canada. And I know he was talking about the PPC when he said that, which was just
dangerous for Canada.
Yeah.
You're so offensive being on the stage, Bernier. Oh, I petitioned for you to not be on the stage. What was that shit by the NDP? This fucking moral outrage. Oh, this is why I said that Maxime Bernier is too offensive to be on the global stage. And he literally just said, what did I say that was offensive? And no one could answer.
Yeah, because he didn't say anything that was offensive. He just didn't.
He didn't. He did not in any way say he was a class act on that stage. I thought he was going to be more of a shitlord up there, honestly. The shitlord ended up being the conservative leader. What was that opening?
Oh, you're talking about Trudeau's blackface? Dude.
He's supposed to talk about his party's platform, and he uses like 30 seconds of his 45 seconds to shit on the prime minister. It was really funny, but I don't know if that was smart.
Well, to be fair, I do have an emote in my Discord server called Mr. Popo, and it's Justin Trudeau in blackface.
Wait, hold on. If you gotta update it to new Dragon Ball, you've got to make him mildly blue.
Mildly blue.
Yeah, I don't. They changed Popo, so
yeah.
They jinxed him. I didn't watch Dragon Ball Super. Sorry, everybody. I tapped out after GT. GT was a bit much to handle. Hey, the video games are still really good, though.
I tapped out during the Boo saga, actually, way back in the day.
I don't blame you. I really do. As much as I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I really do think that every saga was worse
Hold the
than
fuck
one
on.
before it.
You say Z?
What? Yeah.
It's Z.
Yeah?
It's not Z.
I say Z, I'm Canadian. What are you, some fake Canadian? Did I just... Wait, have you been in America this whole time? If I go to your house, will it actually be in Texas?
Well, that was in fact the lie that I was trying to get you to believe.
Oh... Maybe it wasn't a lie. The lie was that it's not a lie. This is incredible. The twists and turns, everybody. The plot of this stream is incredible.
See, I say Z because it rhymes in the song. I don't know where this Z bullshit came from. I don't know.
So, okay, this Z bullshit came from every country that's not America and Japan. However, has anybody here Googled the Canadian theme for Dragon Ball Z? Because it's better than the American one, but only because the American one is fucking terrible. The Canadian one is fucking terrible, but like 1 degree less terrible than the American one. And then you listen to the Japanese one, which is the first version I ever heard when I was but a wee lad. And the Japanese intro to Dragon Ball Z is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a good song. See, that's part of what got me into Dragon Ball back in the day. I was watching Dragon Ball Z before it was where I lived in Canada, because I grew up in Dunnville, which is buttfuck nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because my uncle lives in Hong Kong, and he sent me VHS tapes of the show. So my first experience of Dragon Ball was a blue VHS tape of kind of the whole Ginyu Squad saga of Dragon Ball Z. I believe the voiceover was in Mandarin, and there was no subtitles, so it was just the visuals, and it captivated me so much as a kid, just watching this insanity that was nothing like what I would see on TV at the time. Like, I was watching like Pokemon and stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then I see this, and it's like, this is crazy, and like all the colors of like the Ginyu Squad, and I love the Ginyu Squad. And so like, God, what a cool ass season. Like, and I didn't know what the plot was, because it's not in English, but man, that really, really was cool to me.
Yeah, that first anime is always kind of an experience for somebody who really likes anime, because usually you're growing up on really shit cartoons in the 90s, like shitty American cartoons, and then like for some reason an anime gets dubbed and it squeaks by, and you actually get to watch it, and you're like, this is very strange and different, but there's something about it. There's something about it. I think for me, the first anime that I'd ever watched was all around the same time. I saw some really weird episodes of Hello Kitty at one point, and they were just whatever. But then I saw the original Dragon Ball, and I saw Sailor Moon, and I was like, "There's something strange about these," but I kind of like them.
Yeah, I was into those too, mostly because, again, Uncle sending them over from Hong Kong, and of course, Sailor Moon was very big at the time, so was all the Senryo stuff, so my sister was big into the Senryo stuff.
Yeah. But that is how
Mah-Dry-Bread,
Weeb is
Avatar
born.
looks like a feminist hipster, but I seem to agree with him. I can understand why people might think that looking at it, but no, it's literally I have a mohawk that I don't gel up because my hairline got really bad.
Oh, really?
Like it's yeah.
Is that why you went like bald on one side because you're actually going bald on one side?
No, it's both sides are shaved. I have a mohawk.
Okay.
It's Ginyu 4. Sorry, Ginyu Squad. That's my bad. That's a mistranslation. Sorry, I play a lot of badly translated video games. Anyway, so I used to have really long hair since I was 14 years old. Most people on YouTube who've seen me would have probably seen me with that hair, because I only shaved my hair into this myself like 8 months ago, something like that. But it's just that I'm predominantly Slovak, like Slovakian. And so my hairline got really bad, like widow's peak, like full on Vegeta. And it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I got to take care of this eventually. I've got no bald spot. It's just a receding hairline that way. And it doesn't recede in the middle. It's a widow's peak. So I'm just going to go Googling a bunch of traditional Slovak hairstyles and see like, okay, what worked for them. And what I found was so perfect. It was Mohawk. And that works so well for me because my parents met because my mom was a DJ for Mohawk College and my dad was a touring punk rock band. And you may actually have heard of them because they actually were quite famous for a while. Problem Children. They're quite well known in the Canadian rock or punk rock scene. And so it's funny, like the first MTV merch ever would have been me as a baby on their shirts when I was like not even one. I was their logo for a while. So it's just funny to me that after all these years of me never embracing the punk thing that they always had, like in the wedding pictures, my mom has a blue mohawk. All of a sudden now I've got a mohawk. Because I'm not really a huge punk guy. I like the visual style of it a lot. It's why I like leather jackets and stuff. But never really super into punk music.
You went on that leather jacket rant before the stream started about all those.
Oh yeah, I've got 3 of them to my left. I just got a package of 3 new leather jackets from Luca Design. Not sponsored by Luca Design. Everyone check out lucajackets.com where you can see cool ass replicas of jackets from TV shows and movies and anime and shit.
What replicas do you have there?
So, Luca just sent me, and I'll be doing a review video on it at some point. And again, not sponsored. I don't get paid for this. He just sends me jackets because he thinks the reviews are awesome. What did he send me? So he sent me an N7 thing. I know N7 is a Commander Shepard Mass Effect thing. So this isn't a replica. They do replicas and they do ones that are themed after things, but are meant to be like everyday wear where you won't look like a fucking psychopath. This is one of the ones that is not a replica, but it's got an N7 patch. The styles of the colors and the shapes on it makes you think of Mass Effect while still not looking weird to wear out. This is a really cool one. He also sent another one here that is Jason Todd, Red Hood, the second ever Robin. I know that he's in some show again now, but I'm not very familiar with it. But the style I've seen before, this has got like the red hood and the jacket over, and it's all like connected together, and that looks pretty cool. That one's more of a replica. And the third one he sent is, I'm pretty sure if I'm recognizing this right, I'll have to double check with him. I think it's a replica of Guardians of the Galaxy. Who's that main character?
I didn't watch it. I'm not a Marvel guy, really.
Yeah, I'm not a modern Marvel movie guy, but the main character, he's got like that trench coat. This is like a leather jacket version of that, and it looks pretty cool. This is the same guy who made my Kaneda replica jacket from Akira that I wear in the streams a lot.
Yeah, see, I mentioned before that the leather jackets I would like to get are Travis Touchdowns from No More Heroes,
which is very good,
and Rio's from Shenmue.
Yeah, I almost bought that when I was like 18 because I saw it on the internet. I'm like, this is so fucking cool, but I didn't have money.
Does he do those two?
I forgot to check, actually. I'll check right now. I bet you he does at least one of them. Yeah, because he does a lot. Soldier 76, yep. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Lord of the Galaxy 2 Chris Pratt red leather jacket. Yeah, I've got that one. That's one of the ones he just sent me. So I am searching. God, I just love that right at the top homepage. Men's Goku Dragon Ball Z like evolution jacket. Why did he make? I guess it's just because it's fuck the movie, but I guess it's just because it's a stylish jacket. Okay,
Dragon Ball Evolution. What a shitty movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember. Okay, so I'm searching Shenmue, didn't find any results. Bummer. What was the other one again?
No More Heroes.
No More Heroes. No, he does not. But when I'm on the phone with him, I'll recommend them because he takes suggestions, and I think those are games he'd be into.
Yeah, they're also very good games.
They are. I had No More Heroes 1 back in the day. I really liked that. I watched a Let's Play of 2 back on Chip Cheesum's channel back in the day. And that looked like a really fun game. And I've never played any of the Shenmue games, but we talked about this a little bit off camera, and I really want to get started with them. I remember you recommended I do them in order, and I'm all up for that. I bet you I'm going to love them.
The thing about Shenmue is that, one, do them in order because they are connecting stories. Like, you can't start with 3. You just can't. And you can't start with 2.
Okay. That's interesting.
At the same time, though, 2 came with a movie of 1, had all the cutscenes in a movie, and 3 comes with, like, a tiny movie that just tells you what happened in 1 and 2, but you do want to experience it for yourself. Secondly, they did,
real
like...
quick, am I allowed to post links in your chat?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, some people were asking for the website, so I'll just link it to them real quick.
Sure. Yeah, secondly is that they did the whole importing a save file from a previous game thing long before Mass Effect did it. They did it back in 1999 in the Dreamcast. I mean, I think you have to actually play it on the PlayStation 4 version, obviously, to bring over your Shenmue 2 save file to Shenmue 3. But
really, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
because I think I've got them on PC. I've got 1 and 2 on PC, at least, on Steam.
Oh, yeah?
I believe I do.
Well,
I think it's on Steam.
You could always just go and buy Shenmue 3 on PC on the Epic Game Store. You want to do that?
I avoid buying things on console if it's on Steam also at all costs.
Really?
But...
See, I actually prefer to buy things on console if I can.
Oh, God, no. I'd rather have it on PC because I can fix fucking any game in the world, and so I'd rather play it on PC because it runs better. I can capture it easier. Like, there's just so many reasons for me that if it's on PC, I will get it on PC. I even prefer keyboard controls for a lot of, like, I play, like, Dynasty Warriors on keyboard controls, and I find it more comfortable. You gotta keep in mind that I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so my joints degenerate. Like, they're not good, so I do a lot to maintenance all of my joints. So controllers, this is actually why I wear an elbow pad and a wrist brace. If you watch me on my streams nowadays, the Pokemon challenges are killing my hands from grinding with a controller. Like, I've found all different techniques from speedrunners on how to hold controllers differently to make it easier on your hands.
You could just
because on long grind sessions, it's difficult.
You could just emulate them and use your keyboard.
Emulate the Pokemon games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that, but I use a controller.
Okay. I recall back in the day, because for some reason, like, ZSNES ran SNES games back when they were new, like, as well.
Yep.
So it's like,
I started emulation young.
Yeah, me too. But I recall, like, learning how to play Mega Man X using a keyboard. It was a strange experience. It's
weird going back to it because it felt normal at the time, but like, because I didn't have an SNES. That was the only console generation where I had a non-Nintendo thing when I was growing up. I had Sega Genesis. And I had some great Sega Genesis games, but I missed out on a lot of things I'd probably really like because SNES had more RPGs.
Wait. So you were a Sega kid then? Did you have a Dreamcast?
No, I was almost all Nintendo. I was NES and Genesis. Genesis was the odd one out. Then N64, GameCube, Wii. And then by then I was in high school and I bought a PS2 for my friend and I bought a PlayStation 3. And I never got the Wii U, even though I always wanted to. I just never really had the money to justify it. And then as soon as I started getting good money from, because I really liked the Wii U at my sister's place. I thought it was a really fun console. But as soon as I started getting disposable income from blowing up, right away I was like, all right, I can finally afford to get the Switch. I'll get the Switch, and when Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out, I'll grab one of them. So I ordered a Switch, and I really, really like the Switch.
See, I should probably do like a video like behind the scenes at Game Boomers at some point, because I have a really interesting setup. What I have, and this even if you don't watch Game Boomers, guys, you might actually be interested in this video that I will eventually do. I have a 16 in 1 out HDMI hub, so I can plug in 16 HDMI enabled consoles at once and just press the button to switch between them. And then they go into a really cheap $20 Chinese HDMI splitter that also strips out HDCP protection so it can be captured. It's a failing of that device. It wasn't actually intended to do that, but it does it. And so I can then it goes into my stream computer where I capture on
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Okay. So yeah, it goes into my streaming computer where I capture it on like a Magewell I have like a Magewell capture card. Magewell does some really good stuff, way better than Blackmagic if anyone's still using Blackmagic. But anyway, so I have this giant console collection, right? And what I've been doing for the past year is getting like HDMI mods for old consoles and getting either flash carts for like the really old consoles, or I've been hacking the newer consoles and running things off of hard drives. So for example, right now my PlayStation 3 has a hard drive hooked up to it that has all PS1, PS2, and PS3 games on it. So I just run it off of a hard drive. It makes it really easy, you know? And then I have like a 360 that does that as well. And then I have a Wii that has all Wii and GameCube games running off of a hard drive, right? And then I have like a flash cart on an SNES. It just has an SD card that goes into it that has all the SNES ROMs. So my ultimate goal, because I'm a loser like this, I am constructing full sets for every console possible and having them all output 1080p. And
that's awesome.
It's pretty glorious how it's been going so far. I've really been enjoying it.
I have a friend, Bob Wolf of the Wolf Den. He does a lot of tech review type stuff, of gaming stuff mostly. Mm-hmm. He often gets sent a lot of products from companies that want to show off like cool technical gaming stuff. A lot of controllers, a lot of adapters, stuff like that. And he recently tried one that's like an upscaler that's really, really clean and good. It'll bump anything up by 1 resolution size. I don't know if that would be something that you would find helpful, but if you ever want the name of that, I can ask him and I can link it your way, and you can. I think it's quite expensive, like a few hundred, but
yeah,
you can just see if that would work with your setup at all.
Like
because like it looks, from what he said with his hands-on thing with it, he said like it'll pretty much bump up anything about 1 resolution and look really clean doing it.
Like getting the Dreamcast to output HDMI took about $200. And it's the same with It's the same with most like hardware mods. Like I bought mod kits and then I paid a guy to do the soldering because I can't solder with shit. But I had him like get my Dreamcast, my Wii, and my N64 and like basically just attach the kit so that it outputs through an HDMI cable. And then I picked up those. Do you know what they're called? You know what the Super NT is?
Yes. Sorry, it took me a second to register that because I remember actually I edited a review video on that for Bob back in the day.
Yeah. So I picked up a Super NT and the Genesis variant of it and the NES variant of it. And those are just like modern recreations using the same old chips, but like modern productions of them to basically build new Super Nintendos. And it's an amazing piece of hardware. It's so clean. It looks amazing. The thing about upscaling though is that like if you have like a 1080 signal and you upscale it to 4K, it actually kind of ruins it a bit. What you have to do is take a 720 signal and upscale it to 4K, because 720 is perfectly 3 times smaller, like pixel per pixel. So it's actually when you blow up a 720p signal to a 4K signal, you actually get a perfect pixel per pixel blow up. But 1080 to 4K actually doesn't get you that.
So the thing I laughed about earlier and then said for you to continue, I just got the go-ahead from the guy that I'm allowed to say it. Mm-hmm. I just got to... So for anyone who's a wrestling fan in the chat, if Retro's still here, I know he'll freak out. Anyone here watch Monday Night Raw?
I haven't watched that since I was in high school.
My fucking guy. Oh my god. Dio Madden, one of the voices of Monday Night Raw, one of the commentators there, who's a fucking awesome dude. He streams on Twitch. He just DM'd me just to say, oh shit, like you watch, I didn't know you know SFO. Like he's watching the stream right now. And I just have him like, am I allowed to say that out loud? Cause like, I don't want to get you in trouble. Cause like you're weirdly controversial for some reason. He's like, no, man, I don't care. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Dio, I was just talking about Manny earlier. I was just saying that, he's doing really well. it's not really a fucking wrestling stream, but I make everything about wrestling. So
I've noticed, actually, yes.
sorry, I genuinely, this is something I do for fun. I slip wrestling references into average everyday conversations so that in the event that they ever start watching wrestling, they'll suddenly have the epiphany of like, when they get into it, they're like, that's why he says that. Oh, that's why he said, oh. And it's like, I've been slipping it in for years in almost every conversation I have because I'm such a fucking super fan that like, I do this to everybody. Everybody. I can't stop. It's my favorite art form is wrestling. So it's just, it's my obsession. Like, I like it more than video games.
Really?
I've been watching a minimum of one wrestling match a day since I was 10 years old.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
I watch every week. I watch Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, Main Event. I'm the only guy who watches Main Event. The only one. The producers of Main Event to watch Main Event. I watch NWA Power. I watch Impact every now and again when I have time. I watch AEW Dynamite. I watch NXT UK. My boy Travis Banks is on there. He's also a fan. I watch, God, what else? 205. I watch every episode ever of 205. That's an awesome show.
Okay, I've got to ask you something here. Okay.
Every pay-per-view, yes.
Do you watch Botchamania?
Hell yeah, I do. Who doesn't?
I actually know the guy that makes it.
Yeah, Matthew. He's a cool fucking dude.
Yeah, he's really cool.
I like him a lot.
I haven't talked to him in a few years, but we used to chat once in a while. He was always really chill. He's a good guy.
He's such a nice guy. I actually watch him every week on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast. He's part of that podcast. And of course I watch every Botchamania because that show is hilarious. Yeah. He brought up Spoonie recently on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast.
Oh god, what did he say about Spoonie?
I think it was just a real in passing, whoo, that guy went crazy kind of thing. And yeah, he did. God, I miss old. It's funny, if you go back and watch old Spoonie, he legitimately, like, it's not just a thing of like, was he just funny for the time? No, he's a really funny guy.
Yeah.
If you pop your head into the like once a month or once every 6 months streams, and you think you're going to see the frothing at the mouth crazy person you see on Twitter, no, he's still actually really witty and funny when he's not bitching. Like, when he just relaxes and plays a game,
when he's not
actually, when he's not bitching, he's mostly bitching, but you get those glimpses of like, oh shit, this guy's still really quick-witted. Like,
yeah.
God, why can't we just get Spoonie back? Like, he's genuinely a really funny guy when he's not talking about goddamn politics.
He's talking about Trump, yeah. I was talking to Arch Warhammer about this in private, maybe a couple weeks ago, and he said that Spoonie was like one of the few early YouTubers that genuinely had charisma. You could just listen to him talk about anything for hours. Yeah. It wouldn't matter, and it would be entertaining. And he threw it all away for some fucking reason.
I don't get it. Now, I've suspected since literally the early days of watching him. I started watching him when he did his newest video would have been a PC review of The Thing, the video game.
Oh, that was like his 6th or 7th review, I think. That was early.
Something like that. It's where he got the little logo on his website of the fuse box. Mm-hmm. So that was before Final Fantasy VIII, I believe, or during.
It was before.
Okay. Yeah. That's when I first found him. And so I, like, really, really long time fan. I watched every video he ever did, other than a few of the more obscure streams that weren't archived so well because of like Ustream back in the day. I'm sure I missed a few of those. But I really, really think he's a fantastic content creator. One of my inspirations, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
God, even Razor Fist will still say to this day, like, it's a shame the way Spoonie went because Razor Fist was a massive Spoonie fan. Yeah. And he says to this day, like, Spoonie's one of the most quick-witted guys you'll ever meet.
Well, like, okay, if you go back and like JonTron's like old videos, JonTron says that he wants to start doing reviews of games, but he doesn't want to step on the toes of AVGN or Spoonie.
Yep.
And now look at JonTron compared to Spoonie.
And it's funny because if you look at Spoonie's first review, one of the things he says is he doesn't want to step on the toes of Play It Bogart. I'm friends with Play It Bogart. We did some Let's Plays together and stuff. I raid him all the time. We're good friends. He's also from Canada, although he's in the States now. That's fucking weird. For anyone who knows Play It Bogart from back in the day, did a few of the really early game reviews on YouTube. He's still around, streams on Twitch all the time. He looks totally different now because he's into like, I don't know if you'd call it cross-dressing or what. He's kind of like a drag queen.
Is he a trap?
No. He still has like facial hair and like he's just created this completely unique look for himself.
Right.
He's a really cool dude though. I really got along with him great. We disagree politically and everything, but the thing is he's of that old school thought of you don't lose a friend over politics. You know?
I mean,
we disagree in private a little, but it's very polite. He's a genuinely really good dude. I play Bogart's the man.
Yeah, see, like I've got friends that are commies and stuff, and it's like whatever.
Yeah,
I saw a tweet.
Call me on your show.
I saw a tweet recently, and the person was like, not letting politics interfere with friendship only happens when you're privileged enough that those politics don't directly affect you. And I'm just like, fuck you.
That's
just fuck off.
Yeah. One of my good friends from around here, she voted NDP this year, and we talked about it. Like, because I was curious who she voted for, so I asked, and we told some jokes back and forth about it, and I explained why I wouldn't ever vote NDP with Jagmeet Singh at the head for moral, ethical reasons on some of his ties, and she's like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And her thing was just she wanted to vote left wing, but she didn't trust Trudeau.
Yeah.
And so I explained my reason. She was like, you know, that reasoning makes a lot of sense. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not trying to convince you or anything. And she's like, yeah, of course not. And then, you know, she came over and we hung out and everything.
Yeah.
Because, like, who cares? We're normal people.
Speaking of not trusting Trudeau, I remember during the debates, he said he wouldn't build a pipeline. And then 3 days after he got elected, he said he was building a pipeline. Now, I mean, I agree with I agree with building the pipeline, but it was still a fucking, like, blatant lie.
What a dick move. What an unbelievable dick move. They vote for you on one thing, and like a few days later, you're like, lol. Nope. Like, the fuck's wrong with you, man? You can't just get voted in based on something and then like 10 minutes later be like, I was crossing my fingers, man. Like it's not my fault you weren't looking. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's not even like you lied and you're like, oh, I'm totally not, oh, my hands were tied behind the scenes. Like, no, you didn't even try. It's like, you may as well literally just say, I lied. How did you fall for that? Like,
can you imagine a politician who's actually that blatant? It's like, yeah, you guys are idiots. He just says it. He walks on. He's like, okay, it's the acceptance speech of Justin Trudeau. He walks up to the podium. He taps the mic. He's like, he goes, you guys are fucking stupid. And then he just leaves.
One of these days, he's got to walk up to the podium and do like the old Rowdy Roddy Piper half blackface promo where he's like, I'm hot Scott. And he turns around, he's got half blackface. It just popped half the chat, probably.
Well, in regards to Spoonie, he was also our initial inspiration, because the channel started where it was Dave, Nicole, and myself, and we were like, let's do anime reviews in the vein of Spoonie, and now it's like my videos get more traction than anything he does now. It's kind of wild to think about, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like, there's so many. Oh man, there's so many channels that, you know, back in the day seemed like the biggest thing in the world, and you go back and it's like, wow, YouTube was so different back then. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the other day, I think it was less than a month ago. Does anyone here remember Darkness the Curse?
That was a game, wasn't it?
No. It's a YouTuber who did video game reviews kind of in the early days. He was one that was involved in a lot of drama back in the day. He was a little bit immature back then. But he generally did fun reviews. He was quite young, I think, like probably started when he was a teenager. Got married very young and everything, had a lot of drama. He was the kind of guy who would be ragged on a lot by people like Archfiend, like commentary channels from back then.
Yeah.
And I used to watch some of his reviews, and I enjoyed them back when I was like a kid, like really a kid. The other day, I was just looking through my comment section on one of my Pokemon challenges. I genuinely do read a lot of the comments. And I saw his name crop up, and he was just telling the fossil joke that everyone tells, where I tell jokes where I say, I always whenever I pick up the fossil in a Pokemon game, I do this diatribe where I'm like, and on my way through, I pick up this fossil. I can't use it, but I know if I didn't say which one I picked, you'd all ask me. Actually, ask anyway. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. And it's a running joke. So people support the channel by saying, but what fossil did you pick, bro? And I saw that he posted, I'm like, dude, I used to watch you when I was in like elementary school. Like, how's it going? And he's like, shit, really? Like, I'm a big fan of yours. And I look on his channel. One day later, he had his own Pokemon challenge come up, and he shouted me out in it. And from me, like, doing all these Pokemon challenges, I know how you make them. He would have had to have already had that done before I commented. That means that he was just about to shout me out. And I go on his channel, it's like, wow, it's really, really small compared, like, but back in the day, this was a really big channel because just channels were smaller back then.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's like, this guy was the guy I was watching when I was in elementary school. He's still around today, and just by complete happenstance, he was inspired by one of my videos. That is so flattering. Like,
yeah,
God, I hope he rises up again. I hope he's doing well nowadays, because I don't know what his personal life is like now, but the last I heard was like 5-8 years, forever ago, and he was going through a real rough time. So I hope he's doing better now.
Yeah, like if you just go back to Spoonie, because he's the example that I really know, since, you know, we had that almost crossover with him way back in the day. That
so close. I've heard the story.
Yeah, that Channel Awesome nixed. But anyway, back then he had like 250,000 subscribers at his peak, and he had those subscribers back when like no one was really above 1 million. It was before PewDiePie. It was before Fred. It was like maybe there might have been people, like 1 or 2 people who were above 1 million subs back then, and he had 250,000. Having more than 10,000 subs back then meant that you were actually big and you were on your way. Not so much anymore. So and now he has like 120,000. He lost half of his sub base. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about, you know?
Yeah, like it's crazy. He really did have the world in his hands. Like, even after all of the Spoonie controversies, he wasn't dead. He killed it. Like, with all the shit that he pulled, it only died at his own hands as a result of negligence. Like, leaving, it's crazy to think, him leaving that guy with the glasses didn't hurt him. Yeah. Like, it's not like he said something stupid on Twitter and that's what killed him. This was back before it was that easy to get canceled. Mm-hmm. And man, it's so wild to think how much he had and how much he's thrown away. Like, I have suspected since the early days. Sorry, I get so sidetracked. The reason I was bringing up that I watched him so early is from his very early vlogs, I suspected heavily, and I guess I don't know for sure, that he has manic depression. Because my father had manic depression, has manic depression. I don't know him anymore. But he has manic depression. So I grew up around manic depression and knowing how to handle manic depression and talking to psychologists about how you treat someone who has manic depression, how you talk to them, how you spot it, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so I always thought he has manic depression because it's how he talks and it's how he behaves online. And the thing is, he's incredibly intelligent and he's incredibly witty and everything. And these are things that often... Manic depressive people are often very intelligent people, and
it's also because of the jokes that he would make about it, like specifically. If you go back now and you watch like his old reviews, there's actually like 5 Spoonie archive channels up to like uploading stuff that has been lost to time. So I've like recently rewatched pretty much his entire backlog. It was a wild ride, I gotta say. But he makes jokes like some things that he says about himself. You know, if you're, say, a teenager laughing at somebody on YouTube, you don't really care. But as an adult, you kind of think about it, and you're like, no, there's something wrong with this guy, you know?
Yeah, and and that's kind of a part of the way to deal with it, too. And, that's the thing. That's kind of why I've always given a slight amount of a pass to Spoonie, because it's one of those things of, like, I fully understand that him throwing his really aggressive bitch fit at people like Obscurus Lupa on Twitter, where... Do I like her? No. I think her reviews were really good, but I really don't like the way she conducts herself. But at the same time, the way that Spoonie responded to like that whole fallout was really, really poor, and really immature. And I think the reason that he did it is like I saw that immediately when I saw it. I didn't take it super seriously because the second I saw it with my own experience, I immediately just thought, oh, he's having a manic episode. Like, this is telltale manic episode. Like, any of these people who are really his friends will not be taking him seriously right now and will understand that he is not speaking from a healthy place, and that if they speak to him once he has calmed down and come down, they can have a really genuine conversation about this if this bothered people. But they weren't being very good friends to him, honestly, by really egging it on while he was clearly in a bad way mentally. Like, I really lost some respect for Obscurus Lupa through that thing, because she really should know that he was not mentally well while saying those things. Because, yeah, it's Spoonie telling dark Spoonie jokes, but when his response was that fucking aggressive and weird, he was going through a bout of mania. That's not how you treat someone going through a bout of mania.
I do agree, but at the same time, there's also the argument to be made that, like, you're still responsible for what you do, kind of thing.
I agree. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is, like, that is the most important thing, in fact, that I never remember a psychologist or psychiatrist, which one's which, the one who actually practices medicine and can prescribe things. One of the biggest things that I learned through learning from them on how to treat my dad was, at the end of the day, they're always responsible for their own actions, and you have to remind them of that. You need to, it's essentially like they're really drunk. And it's like somehow against their will, they didn't choose to be drunk. However, they are ultimately in control of their own actions, and they need to be reminded of that so that they can take a hold of it the best they can, and they can damage control the best they can when they're healthier. Like, that they never make them feel like they're powerless to help it, because A, they're not, and B, if they feel powerless in that moment to fix it, they're just going to go wild with it because they feel like they're blameless. So they need to be held responsible for it. But, so yeah, hold it against Spoonie what he does when he's severely manic or severely depressed, because at the end of the day, it is his own decision that he makes. But the way as friends that they treated him while he was having a manic episode publicly was very poor. They really should have known better. And
yeah. No, I agree.
I'm not going to assume that they know how to treat someone with mania, because I know that's not the kind of thing the average person knows. However, the fact that there was no public acknowledgement after of we didn't handle that well, I think that's immature or naive in a way that I don't particularly respect.
Well, to be fair, another video I recently did was on Lindsay Ellis. And how she even refused to it was like a TED Talk or something, or no, it was XOXO. That's what it was. And she refused to even bring up the name Channel Awesome, even though that's basically her claim to fame. You know,
it is, because didn't you almost have a crossover with her because you were on her website?
No, I never was.
I thought you were on her.
Nope.
What, were you on a Reviewtopia or whatever it was called?
Yes. So I can tell that
was
story.
Was that her website?
No, it wasn't. Her website was Cheese Apocalypse.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. Oh God. That was like Discount Reviewtopia.
Yes, it was.
I think I was on that website once, and I was like that guy with the glasses super fan. Not necessarily a super fan of Doug Walker himself. I liked him, but I really liked people like Phalis. I thought they were really good. Isn't Phalis from rural Ontario?
He might be. I'm not sure.
I know he's from Canada, and he's from a rural part of Canada, and I'm pretty sure it's Ontario, judging by his accent.
Well, what I will say, though, is that when it comes to Reviewtopia, so back when the three of us were doing anime reviews on SFO, we applied to That Guy with the Glasses twice. First time we didn't get in not because of the quality of the episode, even though it was probably pretty bad, but because they weren't taking anime reviewers at the time. The second time we applied, we got in, and then we turned them down. We were like, well, honestly, we applied with our Attack on Titan review, which was back in was it 2015 or 2016 or something? And we had largely moved on from reviews at that point, but that was like the last big review we did, like the big production, and it was far better in my opinion than anything That Guy with the Glasses was putting out at that point. And they invited us onto the channel. But I was like, I basically applied just to see if we could actually get on now. I don't actually want to join you. As much of a dick move as that is. I did it for my own.
All right.
But anyway.
All right, that's pretty funny.
Okay, but anyway. So we ended up joining Reviewtopia instead, which was like a discount That Guy with the Glasses. And then what was funny about that is that Reviewtopia, like you said, Chess-Apocalypse was a discount Reviewtopia, so there's kind of like a tier. There's like a hierarchy here, right? Well, there was a site called Geek Fighters, which is what we actually joined. And they changed,
I know that name.
Yeah, they changed their name to Reviewtopia about 3 months after we joined.
Okay, I didn't know that was the same
it's
thing.
The same site, and it was
okay.
It was run by Shades and a guy named Extreme, I think. I forget their names at this point. It's been so many years. But the point is that they were nice guys that don't know how to run a site or how to run a community, basically. Nice guys.
That's the vibe I got from Reviewtopia.
Yeah. Nice people who didn't know what to do with themselves. But anyway.
Yeah.
Diamanda Hagen was on there. I think the Rap Critic was on there. Here's what's really funny though, is on Geek Fighters before it became Reviewtopia, JonTron was on it, as well as Peanut Butter Gamer.
Was he? Because I know that JonTron was on that guy with the glasses, but he posted there like once ever.
Yep. JonTron was there, and so was Peanut Butter Gamer, and those two met and kind of became friends. And then, soon after they left Reviewtopia, and they decided to make Normal Boots instead. And
I thought they would have met through Screw Attack forums, because I know that that's where PBG got to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pro Jared, for example, wasn't on this, but I mean, they met through Screw Attack. So there's definitely like all these communities and like people shuffling around. Like I remember in like the Skype. The big Geek Fighters Skype room, I know that like JonTron and PBG had both said a little bit, and like Dave said hi to them in passing, but that was like the extent of knowing them really. But it was it's my YouTube history, and to a lesser extent everyone else's YouTube history that's also worked on the channel, come and gone in the past. We've like been close to people who were huge, but never actually been huge ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I've been like that for long enough too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a strange situation. And then eventually we did that Total Biscuit video that went viral, and now we're here, which is at some growth at the moment.
I almost had a collaborative video with Jesse Cox about a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's because Jesse Cox sent out a tweet saying like he wanted to collaborate with some new channels that are above 50K subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'll send him an email because I'm a fan of his. And I agree with you, he didn't handle that press conference thing well. Whatever it was, the open mic thing, the R-Traps gay thing. I think he handled that really poorly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still a fan of his. I really like Scary Game Squad. So I sent an email and I just gave a little rundown of what my channel's all about. And he's like, hell yeah, I want to work with you. That sounds really fun. And so we sent emails back and forth talking about what we want to do, some kind of Pokemon thing. He'd be new to Pokemon. And we're like, okay, maybe a beginner's guide to how to get into Pokemon. And he would always take like a week or two to respond to emails because he's just a busy guy.
Yeah.
Eventually he just didn't respond one of the days, and he emailed back like a month later and said like, I'm so sorry, like work had me swamped. And once again, it's another one of those things. If I messaged him like 3 weeks ago with some ideas and he hasn't messaged back, so
it's probably
I don't know.
Dead.
It might be one of those things. It's one of those things of maybe he's not feeling it anymore. Maybe he really is super busy, but I don't want to press it because he's his own guy. And I even said to him like, look, if you're just not feeling it, that's totally cool with me. Like, I don't want you to ever be in an uncomfortable spot. Like, I understand we're doing video for your channel, and you get to choose what's on your channel and everything. And I'm a stranger, so I don't want to bother you at all. And so is it dead? Probably, but the door's open for something in the future, and I'm genuinely a fan of him. So,
well, don't mention that you know me, because he hates me.
Does he hate you?
Yeah. And I can tell you why.
I'll mention that I'm friends with you.
Here, I'll tell you why, okay?
Why?
He doesn't use any kind of Twitter block bot. All right? And I have never tweeted at him in my life. Ever. When that Total Biscuit video went viral, he blocked me on Twitter. So he must have known.
So you're probably blocked by a lot of people, right?
Here's the thing. This is before I was put on any kind of block bot. This is before that.
I mean, now you're probably blocked by a lot of people.
Well, now I'm not on Twitter anymore because I got banned, and the official SFO Twitter is run by Naomi, not me.
Yeah. But do you think most of the block lists would have just had the previous account?
Well, this is the thing, though, because I had occasionally looked in on the old Twitter account that is now banned, like the main Short Fat Otaku Twitter account. I had, for other reasons in the past, looked in on Jesse Cox's Twitter, and I wasn't blocked. It's only after that video went viral was I blocked. And he doesn't use block bots the same way.
Yeah.
I'm on some block bot lists, I'm sure, but he doesn't use them.
I'm just wondering if after that, not related to Jesse at all, but just due to the growth of the channel, did you wind up on a whole bunch of block lists?
Maybe not. I'm not sure.
That and your association with like Sargon and stuff.
Yeah, people don't like Sargon.
I would imagine that you probably wound up on a lot of block lists after that, unrelated to Jesse. I do think he personally blocked you.
Yes, I think so too, because Total Biscuit did watch that video. I know that for a fact.
Did he comment or something, or?
No. He mentioned it on a few of his streams. He mentioned he mentioned it on one of his Twitch streams, and he mentioned it again on the H3H3 podcast.
He mentioned it on the H3H3 podcast?
No, he didn't say me, and he didn't say the video, but he said that viral video, and I knew exactly which one he was talking about.
He strongly alluded to.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there was only one viral video critiquing him in that time period. It was me. That was it. So And
what was I gonna say?
He mentioned me more directly on his own Twitch. And here's the thing. Like, I mentioned this in my Pro Jared apology video, is that like I used to, when I was making videos about happenings surrounding people, I used to email them, and I'd never get a reply back, right? Because I'm a small fry. I'm still a small fry, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't really take it personally. It's like, you know, I'm too small to be noticed. That's okay. I emailed Total Biscuit about the Art Traps Gay video. Got no reply.
Yeah.
Fine. I put the video out. It goes viral, and then he openly blasts me on his Twitch stream for making it. And I was like, you know what? Everyone who's in the YouTube bubble, fuck you guys. You all have your heads up your asses. I'm done with this shit. So when the Pro Jared thing came along, I didn't even bother emailing him. And I was like, you know, I probably should have. I probably should have still done my due diligence on that one. Especially since it came out that he was pretty much innocent, so.
Yeah, that was actually the one Dumping with Scrump episode that had me mildly annoyed, because even when the allegations first came out of Pro Jared, I was the guy mildly defending him, just saying, we don't know the whole story and this seems really, really fucking fishy.
Yeah.
I don't think this went down the way that people are saying it went down, or else there'd be way more proof online. Especially when things started coming out about how Pro Jared's wife was acting very differently on Twitter than she was on her private Facebook page. When things started getting leaked from there, she'd be actively posting statuses there, laughing about it and saying how she's looking forward to destroying his life. Well, on Twitter, she was saying that she doesn't want to hurt him. And I was just like, okay, there's more to this. Like, and so I was just biting my tongue because I didn't want to say anything publicly, because it's one of those things of so many people are still emotional and riled up right now that they're going to take it the wrong way. So when he came out and he said, like, you know, I did this, and then there's all this, you know, why did this person not come out with proof? Why did this person literally say that they don't remember anything from this time period? All this stuff, it's like, as far as I'm concerned, this was a person who made a stupid lapse in judgment and probably should not have been taking nudes from fans, because it's kind of an abuse of power to some degree. But at the same point, I can see his thing of, we're all consenting adults, and he did actually do his due diligence to make sure that they were adults. And so, although I personally would never do that, I think it is an abuse of their power. I could understand why someone wouldn't see it that way in that position. And so I just look at it more as a stupid decision than a bad person's decision.
Yeah,
you know?
I see it the same way.
And that's the thing. That's why I don't hold anything against Pro Jared. And I'm sure it helps that I was a fan of his, and I still am a fan of his. Like, you know what? Obviously, that is going to be part of the bias. However, I do think he explained himself very, very well.
I've become more of a fan of his. I used to not watch his stuff. Now I do.
Oh, I always watched it. I remember emailing him once way back in the day, just saying, like, you know, I used to watch your sketch series thing on Screw Attack way back in the day. Do you remember what his series was called in Screw Attack? I don't even remember anymore. Well, I think it's where he worked at like a game store.
Well, he was professional Jared then, right? Not Pro Jared, because everyone had like a some kind of descriptor attached to their name on that.
Stuttering Craig, Fat Jose.
Yeah,
was that his name? Yeah, I love that show back in the day. That was fun. Back in the
Dave
days
likes
of the
Screw Attack way more than me. He used to like religiously listen to their podcast. Was it called
the
Sidewinders? What's it called?
Sidewinders, yeah, and
Yeah.
they had Hard News. That was fun. Before that guy left for IGN. Oh man, those days were really fun. That was just a channel of like just dudes having fun in Texas. Like it was so goofy and stupid and fun. What a fun show that was. It was really old internet, wasn't it? Of just dudes dicking around with a camera. You remember?
Speaking of Dave, he just fucking canceled the Game Boomer stream tonight.
Awesome.
Okay, he literally just said, okay, there's a dude who paid for tonight's slot, Wing Tassar. He paid solid cash for us to play the Sega Saturn game Space Hulk. It's like a Warhammer 40K game.
Okay.
We were gonna stream that for about 3 hours, and we've been like putting it off because we had like technical issues and this and that. And Dave's like, yeah, he just sent me the fucking message. Yeah, I fell over at work and I hurt my back. I can't come home tonight. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. He did it like I think he's just like dying. He did it like last week too. He like hurt his back. It's like shit. You're an old fucking man at this point, dude.
Oh, someone in the chat says I used to work with Destin and Jose. Are they as cool as they seemed? I hope so, because they seemed like cool dudes.
Maverick's like, right, yeah. Maverick Hunter X0 and Sinistar Ares, they both watch Game Boomers pretty regularly, and they're just like, God damn it, Dave. Oh, there's Wing Tassar. He's the guy that paid for it. You spoke with him? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know Dave super well either than seeing him on the show and stuff, and yet that just feels like a Dave thing to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Dave is a guy with a strong personality.
Not really. Everything about Dave is weak.
I guess. I don't know. Okay, here's a better term for what I'm trying to say. You look at Dave and you know who Dave is.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You look at him and you hear him talk a little and you're like, I get this guy. I get what this guy's all about. I like this guy. Tell Dave that Mah-Dry-Bread said hey. And when he says, what the fuck is that? Just don't give him context.
Just don't give him context. All right.
Yeah, that's what I always say that to people of like...
I think he knows who you are, actually. I think he knows already.
Okay. The other day, my friend Cassie, she was at a friend's wedding down in North Carolina. She said she was at like a friend's wedding or something. I said, oh, tell the couple that Mah-Dry-Bread said hi. And when they say, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't give context. And the response is usually, what? Or what's a Mah-Dry-Bread? And they don't give them context.
Before I ask you this, yeah, everyone in the chat who actually watches Game Boomers, yeah, I'll do something else tonight. Naomi and I'll play Pokemon or something. So I'll do something else. Okay, here I'll plug myself because why not?
I have a photo of Jose in a smart car. He didn't fit at all. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll do something else without Dave. Yes, and I'll do it over on that Twitch channel for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But why did you actually call yourself Mah-Dry-Bread anyway? Where did that name come from?
I didn't. I get asked this all the time. I actually have an interview on a website that I just linked to at this point to explain it quickly, but I'll explain it really fast. My name is really fucking difficult, especially in a country that speaks French.
I remember this now. That's right. You have like a Slovak name, eh?
No, it's Welsh. The first name is Welsh. The last name is probably has some kind of English root, but the thing is both the first name and the last name are incredibly fucking old. They're from dead versions of the languages. So my name is Madrat Stowe. People might know the name Madrat because that is, you might know the Latin version, which is Mordred, which is like King Arthur's son. Mm-hmm. But the Welsh version, the old Welsh version, no one speaks Welsh, and this is an old version of Welsh even, is Madrat.
It sounds familiar,
my name is Madrat Stowe, so, you read that, it's hard to read. It's a hard to read name. So I've always had nicknames my whole life. No one calls me Madrat but my wife. It's like the one Welsh name that doesn't have 1,000 Y's and W's and shit. Because the Welsh are irresponsible with letters. I'm not Welsh, by the way. I just eccentric parents. So I always had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of nicknames. So in high school once when I was 16, a friend just as an offhand joke said, "You don't have enough nicknames. I'm going to give you a new nickname." And I'm like, eh. And he's like, Mah-Dry-Bread. That's your new nickname. And I'm like, okay. So over the course of the day, we figured out how to spell it. And I'll just spell it in the chat. That is how we originally spelled it, and we realized quickly when showing it to people that no one knew how to pronounce it. You get a different pronunciation every time someone saw it. So we started workshopping it and trying to figure out how do we make it the most easy to read. And we came up with that, which is what it is now. We broke it down phonetically into like regular words. So it's a nonsense word. It means literally nothing. It is not there's no possessive term. There is nothing about the stateness of moistness of anything. And there is no food product. It is a series of noises. We simply spelt it phonetically. That nickname got more popular than any nickname I had ever had. That got so much traction that like by the end of the month, teachers were calling me Mah-Dry. Everyone called me either MDB or Mah-Dry, and that one just stuck with me more than any other nickname I've ever had, other than Mo, which is just what my family has always called me. So yeah, just to this day, sorry, I need to respond to something really funny in the chat. But to this day, everyone just calls me Mah-Dry or MDB. But in the chat, Reno says, this guy's calling you trans. Is that true? Someone respond to it with nah, he just said he's married. If you're trans, you can't be married? What? No, I'm not trans. I'm a man. My gender and my sex are both male, and that has nothing to do with my marital status.
So, it is strange when like high school teachers start calling you by your nickname, isn't it?
Only took a few weeks.
Yeah. Because
they heard other students calling me that, and they're like, okay, well, there's nothing offensive about that nickname, and it's fucking easier, so...
Yeah.
I'm Mah-Dry.
There were two people in my high school where the teachers started calling them their nicknames. One of them, his name was Badabin. It was a native name, and everyone just called him B, which is a lot easier, so they just called him B. Everyone just called him B. And he actually signed his name just with one word, just one letter, just a B. It's like,
that's awesome.
So he's just B. The other one was a guy who's occasionally on Game Boomers, once in a blue moon nowadays because he's so busy. That's Cabbage. And his real name's Kevin, so it's not hard to just say Kevin, but everyone called him Cabbage to the point, and he introduced himself as Cabbage, and teachers started calling him Mr. Cabbage. And he was known as Cabbage because he would just deal a lot of weed.
Oh.
And the teachers didn't know, so they called him Cabbage anyway.
Wow. I had a friend in high school who his name is Muhammad because fucking we had so many kids of Muslim parents whose name is Muhammad, so they usually went by their middle name.
God damn.
But this one, he liked to go by the name Aladdin, which is fucking awesome. My friend, he's Indian. He's not like Indian. He's not Arab at all. He's from India. He didn't have the accent or anything. He's second generation. He grew up in Canada, but he's like really, really dark skinned, looks super fucking Indian. You can tell immediately he's Indian. He went by Aladdin. What a fucking badass. I always liked him. Oh, there's something just so funny about that to me.
Oh, just to go back a few topics, I realized something. Having people that are reasonably large watch you. I do know that feeling because Larry Bundy Jr. watches SFO. He
is a cool guy. Every time I've ever interacted with him, me and him have been in a thing where we bump into each other in the comment sections of every video ever because we just watch all the same people. And so we just respond to each other all the time. We've never talked privately. It's a thing of like 5 times a year, one of us will reply to the other one in a random comment section of something.
Yeah, it is always neat when you see somebody. Like, first of all, when somebody that you watch watches you and then replies in your comments. Like I get Sargon comments sometimes and V comments sometimes. Like those are kind of the expected ones because we're friends. But then I get like Larry comments and I'm like, oh, this is interesting, Or like I'll get like shoe on head comments and those are kind of fun too.
Yeah. With me, it's OSW Review, which I've been a fan of since their very early days. awesome three Irish dudes who review old school wrestling. They do kind of all eras now, but they started with old school wrestling. That's why it's OSW, Old School Wrestling Review. It's like the one that started a whole wave of podcasts and all that stuff. Jay Hunter, the motherfucker who runs that thing, is one of the nicest humans I've ever met, both on screen and off. He's the coolest fucking dude in the world. Everybody who is into wrestling needs to go look up OSW Review, because that dude is a class act. Jay Hunter is the best. He is so nice. I can't say I know who that is,
but...
Oh, Jay Hunter is just the nicest guy. I can't get over it. Like, he has no reason to be as nice as he is, and he's so fucking nice. It's crazy. He's just so unrelentingly positive, and it's genuine. It's not like he's putting on an act for YouTube or something. It's like, oh, he's just such a smiley motherfucker. I love that man.
Man, I think the most positive YouTuber I've seen ever, and like doesn't seem like he's faking it, because there's a lot of like hyper positive ones that are obviously just putting on like, an act, right? But would be Steve 1989 MRE Info.
I'm gonna Google that one. I don't know that name.
Okay, so what his thing is that he will get MREs and he'll eat them. You know what MREs are?
What's an MRE?
It's
a military ration.
Yeah, a military ration. So the idea is that like they come packaged with like little stoves, or they have like
wow, 1.5 mil.
Yeah, they have like little stoves in them, or they'll have like bags where like they have like a strange kind of chemical where you add water to it and it heats up just from chemical reaction.
Yeah. So, I'm skipping through one. Oh man, that's a rough job, man. Military rations are balls.
Apparently, he loves them. That's like his preferred food.
Oh, my best friend, he's part of our Air Force. Mm-hmm. He I believe he's had to try rations. I feel sorry for him, because man, rations are rough.
They look okay, actually.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind trying. Just to say I wouldn't mind trying one, you know?
Some of them maybe, but man, Canadian military rations, I would imagine, are quite bad, because the Canadian military has funding issues. Like, you know, in the Air Force, the Canadian government's been promising to buy them new planes for like 15 years.
Yeah.
It's one of the things the conservatives have run on, is that they're actually going to make the purchase. And so Brandon's like, good Lord, can they get us the new fucking planes already? Like, Brandon's in the military to be a Air Force like military engineer, like fixing planes while flying in them and stuff. Mm-hmm. Which is a fucking good job, by the way. That is it's high education job. Like, part of his education is taking a 4-year university electrician's course in 7 months, and he got it. It's hard shit. And he's officially a registered electrician now, so far as I know, since he passed that thing. It is hard. Like, there's a reason, like, Canada has some of the best snipers in the world. Our military grinds you fucking hard, and our shit's out of date, so you've got to be good.
Yeah.
At his barrack, when he was in basic training, they had suicide nets on some of the buildings, because inevitably people would kill themselves every time.
Yeah.
Like, they grind you hard. He's well past basic training now. You know, he's properly in the Air Force now, getting his... You know, I believe he's starting on flight training now. Now that he's got the engineering stuff down. But... By the way, this is another bullshit thing about French language mandatory.
Oh, God.
On their written tests, he was in a barracks with a lot of people from Quebec, and the Quebec people came up to him, like, he was talking about, like, oh, that test was hard. And one of the Quebecois motherfuckers is like, man, shame you're not fluent in French. The French side of the sheet had leading questions that would lead you to the answers. Like, if you knew French, you had an easier version of the test because they implied the answer in the question. You motherfuckers.
So, Maverick Hunter is demanding I talk about the pineapple.
What's the pineapple?
So, did you see the video that I'm talking about it, Maverick Hunter. Did you see the video where I hit 50,000 subs and I talked about an old can of pineapple that I had from 1996.
Oh, no. Yes, I did. Yeah.
So, Steve 1989 MRE, he's actually capable of opening up like a botulism can safely, and I'm not.
Okay.
So my girlfriend demanded I get rid of it, so I mailed it to him. And I said, listen, I know that this is not your usual thing, but if you could open this, it would mean the world to me. So
Okay.
we're waiting to see if everyone here go comment on his channel or on his videos and say, "Open the pineapple can."
Do it.
I sent it off to him about 4 months ago, but I mean, he takes a long time to do his work. Like he said 3 months ago that if you go to his channel right now, there's like one of his newest videos, like the 4th video or something. It's like a 2-hour long video or something. It's like a long video, or 1 hour long video of him doing some kind of ancient MRE. He said 3 months ago he was working on that, so he takes a long time to put his videos out. So maybe if he does get to the pineapple can of doom, he won't be getting to it anytime soon.
Antiform in the chat says Toronto has clean streets, people who mind their own business, good public transit, and very little violence. I used to live in Toronto for about a year. Maybe it just wasn't my neighborhood. I don't know.
Toronto has more goddamn stabbings than it has people, for fuck's sake. No,
I was in a good neighborhood too.
I was in Scarborough.
I was in a fairly good neighborhood.
And Scarborough's not a good neighborhood.
I was in North York, not willingly. I was in a total shoebox with my mother. It was just that we were going to be homeless otherwise, and my uncle owned a 1-room apartment there that he let us live in. So it was like literally me, my mom, and 2 cats in 1 room. Just like our beds up against each other. Our footboard was like up against the kitchen.
Yeah.
For a year and a week. She still lives there. I want to get her a new place. But it was that or being homeless. So, and luckily me and my mom are really close. We have a great relationship. So like we didn't get in a single argument the whole fucking year. We just played a whole lot of Pharaoh, the old city builder, together, and a whole lot of Don't Starve together. And we just play video games together all the time. That was fun. God. So yeah, North York it's a good neighborhood. It's fucking expensive. I'm happy that we weren't the ones who had to pay for it, but yeah, people minded their own business because like no one wanted to talk to the white guy in the building. People like genuinely like in the elevator all the time. Like everyone there was either Southeast Asian or like East Indian, and I would always get weird looks. And I didn't take it any kind of bad way because I understand it's just look, most of the people here are Asian. It's a little weird that there's a white guy here who's not staff. But mind their own business. I think it's because they didn't like me. Like streets clean, sure, it was okay. Very little violence. Not relative to the rest of Southern Ontario. I mean, maybe it's worse in Brampton and Mississauga, maybe, but. I don't know. Toronto's hit and miss, but real estate prices there are unbelievably bad. Did you hear that?
Nope.
I think Alexa just yelled at me from the kitchen. What? I think I just heard. I think Alexa just.
Why do you have an Alexa?
Because so that the reptilians can spy on me. No, it's I just heard. I heard it from across the entire unit, and I think it was saying something like, I don't know that. So I probably heard like half of something and didn't understand what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's wild. I've never heard it hear me from the studio before. That's like really far away. That's a little disturbing. Like that's really far away. It's in the kitchen around a corner. That's concrete. My cell phone can't get a signal through that.
Sig Earther posted on Steve's latest video about the pineapple. Everyone keep posting. Let's see.
Violence in Canada sounds like a joke. Back when I was in Mississauga, I heard stabbings and gunshots and people getting run over on my street.
Yeah.
We had a stabbing in our parking lot of our apartment building the first month that we were there. Yeah, Canada's got a crime rate.
Yes.
Look, there's shitty places anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're never going to find a country that has no shit places.
Our downtown had like a high school student stab another high school student over drugs a couple weeks ago. But like my area of this city is very, very peaceful. It's just like
my area is also very peaceful. I'm quite fortunate now.
Yeah. Like this this part of town is just it's cheap because it's old. Like all the houses were built in like 1950, but otherwise it's very peaceful. There's also like young families here. There's not really any kind of party animals, you know. It's a quiet neighborhood that's old, but it has charm and it's decent quality for the price. So apparently, Veruca Saltpile wants you to talk to her wife because she watches you. Apparently, just say hi, Silver.
Hi, Silver. I'm guessing it's the Pokemon challenges, right? How'd you find me? What was the first one? I'd like to learn what people's first video of me was.
It's probably the Pokemon challenges. See,
probably the Pokemon challenges. Statistically,
for me, like a lot of them came in through a Sargon crossover of some kind. A lot of them came in through Total Biscuit. A lot of them came in through like my Learn to Code video.
You know, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
How about Trouble Trudeau, the first one?
Kinda, but not really. Like a lot of my
I thought that was really good.
A lot of my Canadian viewers came in through that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of
that was a really good one.
Came in through other things.
Oh, do you know JJ McCullough?
No, I do not.
Good Canadian YouTuber out of Vancouver. He does political analysis stuff.
How does he afford to
mildly
live there?
Humorously? I don't know. I think he said that he's from like a upper middle class neighborhood and stuff, so he probably came from an okay amount of money. He's an interesting guy because you look at him at first glance and you're like, okay, he's a gay guy and he's got this wild hair and stuff, and you're a little bit worried. It's like, is he he looks a little bit like the stereotypical social justice warrior, but no, he's actually a very mild-mannered conservative guy. He's a kind of an old school, what would be called the basic bitch conservative, which is pretty much what he calls himself, but he's not as sweary. I do think he's a little too quick to dismiss people like Bernier and whatnot, but he actually has written for a lot of political news organizations in both the United States and Canada. I find he's one of the most even-tempered political guys I've ever seen, and I really do recommend his channel because he is more weighted towards the more typical political establishment stuff. However, I think he's very, very fair. Like, he has the most fair video I think I've ever seen on the FNC Lavalin scandal, where
holy fuck, that just pisses me off whenever I hear about it.
So he had a really good video on it where, even though he's a conservative and he really doesn't like Justin Trudeau, he's like, I'm going to come at this from three angles of like, I'm going to come at it from the angle of Trudeau did something really bad. I'm going to come at it from the angle of how Trudeau probably sees it, and then somewhere in between. And the one when he lined out his perspective of how Trudeau probably sees it, I'm like, you know what? I can really see how this makes sense internally in the political party. And I'm like, you know what? That's a perspective you very rarely see. I still think he did something wrong, but I can really understand,
what was his point
I can
of
really
view?
understand how you can think that you didn't do something wrong while going through that and just thinking it's a bad set of circumstances. I think he did such a good video on that.
What was his point of view? Like, how did Trudeau see it and see it correctly from his point of view?
Well, his point of view, this is a very short version. I do recommend watching the video. It's a short watch and it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But his was generally a thing. If he went over each of the incidents where he said, like, when you're working with third world nations, there's always going to be a level of corruption involved in them, because that is just part of dealing with third world nations. And you can't just exclude entire nations from the world when you're building a business. And so there's a certain level of corruption. And then there's like another part where he's talking about how Judy Rayson Wilbolt, was that her name?
Yes.
Sorry, it's a mouthful of a name.
Yeah,
but he was talking about like how she was assigned to, what was it, like Aboriginal something, like some weird government job that she took as an insult.
Mm-hmm.
He was pointing out, like, he's saying like, well, she complained everything and she didn't want to take the thing that we were offering her. She got offended by it, even though we thought she'd be the person with the most experience. So the only spot that wasn't filled already was like military veterans affairs, which she had no association with. But how much worse would it have looked if we just kicked her out? So we had to offer her the only available thing. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, that probably is how they saw it internally. They're like, okay, well, she cares about Indigenous rights. She'll probably want this one. She's like, that's a fucking insult. And it's like, well, shit, the only one available is Veteran Affairs, which she has nothing to do with, but we can't fucking fire her because that'll look way worse. So they offer her goddamn Veterans Affairs, which she obviously wasn't happy with. Like, there's a lot of little things where it's like, it seems like they were trying to make the best of a bad situation. I'm like, okay, I can understand the perspective. I still think they did many wrong things, but you know what? I can understand how they got to that point and how they may have looked at it internally. And that's important because you never see the other side of it. And that it didn't at all make me take Trudeau's side. And in fact, J.J. McCullough didn't take Trudeau's side in the end. He just basically made the argument of, this is a little bit more politics as usual than it might seem. Like this, a lot of these things that seem malicious were probably, fuck, she said that. All right, what do we do?
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, like, I disagree with some of those premises. Like, you can you can definitely say, hey, we can do business not with a corrupt third world country. There's many other countries that aren't corrupt. We could just do business with them,
I agree. Like, when it gets to the point of, like, you have to buy prostitutes for a guy, it's like, okay, come on. Like, I know that, okay, prostitution has never actually, as a thing, been illegal in Canadian history, straight prostitution. It's that we have a lot of rules about it that make it basically illegal, but not exactly illegal. So I can understand something. And plus, culturally, we look at prostitution a lot differently from a lot of other nations.
That's true.
Especially in more rural areas, which are weirdly more accepting of it than the cities, which is kind of the opposite of what you'd think it would be. Like, I know that here in Southern Ontario, prostitution is frowned upon more than, like, in the Midwest. In the Midwest, prostitution's more legal or more normal than here, which is the opposite of how it usually is in countries,
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't think prostitution should be illegal. It's a victimless crime. It's, why did we make it illegal to have a brothel? Isn't that the safest way to do prostitution? Yeah, that seems silly to me.
I think it's just that one we can actually, like, squarely lay the blame on the Conservatives for being conservative.
I think we can. Yeah. That one's a bit of a moral outrage kind of thing, and I think that's silly.
No, I agree.
Like, look, if it's a victimless crime, it's a victimless crime. The only victimless crime I've ever not been in favor of that I can think of is necrophilia. I guess the only victim's your own dick. But I'm not pro necrophilia. I'm not pro corpse fucking. But I can't intelligently argue as to who the victim is, either than maybe the family.
No, there's actually an argument to be made against that.
Okay. Please give it to me, because I don't want to not have an argument against that.
Okay, so there's an argument to be made for the sanctity of corpses, not just in terms of having sex with them, but in terms of, people always say, like, why don't we turn corpses into fertilizer? Why don't we turn corpses into food? Why don't we do something useful with them? And then that creates a possibility where creating corpses can be an incentive for somebody else. So, for example, you have, like, an old person who might die in 10 years. So they're still going to be a burden on the family for 10 years. Or they could die sooner, and then a company gets their corpse, and then you get, like, a little bit of a payout from that, because they're going to use the corpse for something practical. So the idea is that if we keep corpses as a sanctified thing that can't be used for any practical purpose, then there's no incentive for unnecessary death.
It's just something tickles me about the idea that one of the lead commentators of Monday Night Raw is currently watching us talk about, is corpse fucking a victimless crime? I quite like that argument, actually, of we don't want to incentivize someone's death. That's a good argument. I think that's pretty reasonable. If anyone in the chat wants to argue against that, I'd be interested in some devil's advocatism.
I mean, consider a really extreme scenario. You have somebody that wants to have sex with somebody else, and they are both willing to rape that person, and they're also willing to fuck their corpse. So
that's a pretty fucked up person right there.
Yes, it is. But you could say that if raping is illegal, but necrophilia isn't, they'll just wait for them to die, then they'll do it anyway, and they'll still get what they want. So yeah, you can't really go down that road.
Okay, that's interesting. See, I never thought about it from the perspective of incentives, and what that incentivizes. I was just thinking of it of, my general thing is, like, is there a victim in this crime? And with that specifically, potentially no. But I guess if we're looking at incentives, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely looking at crimes from the point of view of is there a victim can definitely help along certain things. Like, for example, I believe that all manners of drugs should be legal because they are
Yeah,
ultimately
me too.
the only crime is the only victim is you. Like, if you get hooked on heroin, you destroy your life. As long as like you're not like driving around high or you're stabbing somebody for your next fix.
Yeah,
if you just
which is its own crime.
Yes, yeah. If you destroy your own life, well then it's like whatever. It's your business, you know. So that's like the libertarian argument for allowing all drugs just to flow freely, and then that would also probably cripple a lot of the cartels and things like that as well.
Yeah. And the main argument I hear against that is that the families of the people doing it could be ruined, but that is someone's individual choice to start doing these things. It's never forced on them, which is my main response of I'm fairly libertarian. I think people should have the choice to fuck up their own life. If they so choose. Like I think that
we do all the time, just not with drugs.
Exactly. Like, Canada has a ridiculous rate of drunk driving.
Yes.
We have there's a reason why we have some of the most terrifying anti-drunk driving PSAs in the world. It's because Canada has always had an issue since the carriage days of drunk driving because it's a cold country. It's a cold country that doesn't get a lot of sunlight.
Drunk
Alcohol
horse
is
carriage
very
driving?
popular. Yeah, like that's a genuine problem back in the day.
Yeah.
But like you see this in Nordic countries as well. This is a common thing in very cold countries that don't get a lot of sunlight, is heavy drinking to feel less cold. And so drunk driving is a really serious problem, and it will always be a problem in Canada because that is the environment that we're in. And so you can already fuck up your life really, really easily with alcohol. It's super fucking easy to do. I don't think that is an argument to make alcohol illegal. I'm not pro-prohibition. And so I don't think morally I should be pro keeping all currently illicit drugs illegal. And that's not because I do drugs or anything like that. I've actually I've never smoked a cigarette. And the first drug I ever had, I guess if we count alcohol, I didn't drink my first alcoholic drink until I was 20 or 21. Even though I was allowed to 21. I was allowed to since I was 19 here in Canada, but I didn't because I never really felt the need to. And my dad was a raging alcoholic, so I wasn't interested. And I drink occasionally now, but I don't like being drunk. I just like the flavor of liquor. And I didn't do any other drug until a few months ago when weed became legal. When weed became legal, I ordered some from the government and ordered the means to smoke it because my stress was getting so out of control because I've always had stress issues. And when you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, stress can actually degenerate your body really bad. So for the sake of my own health, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try weed. And so now once every once every 3 or 4 weeks, I'll have a night where I get my work done early. And me and my wife, we have some weed and we watch some Best of the Worst over on Red Letter Media, and we make some homemade nachos and delicious snacks, and we just have a nice night. And the next day, I usually oversleep and I don't feel great, but my muscles are relaxed and they haven't been relaxed in days, and I feel like I can be productive again.
Yeah.
And so just the occasional little thing of weed is way cheaper than alcohol, way healthier than alcohol. And it has relaxed me so much more. Like, it's really done wonders for my health. And so that's actually the one biggest thing that makes me a little bit hesitant about going to the United States. Of all the states that I'm interested in the Southeast, you can't legally have weed. It's a little bit less restrictive in North Carolina if you get medical marijuana, but it's not very easy to get medical marijuana there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, see, I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do any drugs, and I haven't for a very. I tried cigarettes when I was in high school, didn't really like them. I've drunk alcohol a few times, didn't really like it. I haven't had any alcohol in like 5 years, maybe 7 years, something. I don't even keep track anymore because it doesn't matter. It's not a part of my life. I don't do anything like that. I am pretty straight edge as far as straight edge people go.
CM Punk. Sorry, there was a wrestling event in Chicago last night. It's one of my favorite running jokes is just yelling CM Punk at the most inopportune times. He was straight edge pro wrestler.
Oh god. Okay, yeah, I know who CM Punk was. Yeah, but Maverick Hunter X talks about ghetto nachos. Okay, guys, listen to this. I want the chat room, and I guess yours as well. Dry Bread, the opinion on this. Okay, So
Okay.
normally when I make nachos, sometimes there's like some fried beef involved or beans. Sometimes there's not, but usually the
Like
basic.
ground beef?
Yeah. The basic nacho is like nacho chips, grate some cheese, maybe just microwave it up, add salsa. All right.
Yeah,
Very
like old El Paso salsa or something.
yeah, something like that. So very
Sure.
basic nachos. Okay.
Yeah, we
Dave,
make that occasionally.
Dave has what he calls ghetto nachos. All right. Ghetto nachos are crackers with bits of Kraft singles, like those in individually wrapped pieces of cheese.
Is Dave aware that in Canada you can get good cheese?
So he microwaves that, and then if he's feeling really wild, he'll add ketchup to it. And that is what Dave makes for nachos when he doesn't have any nacho stuff, and he calls them.
Look, I'm not okay with that.
He calls them ghetto nachos, and they sound fucking disgusting, and they are fucking disgusting.
Okay, so we have 2 nacho recipes in this household. We have classic nacho, which is we get a bag of these nice nacho chips from Costco that are like better quality than like Tostitos and crap like that. And we just grate up some fresh cheese, put it on it, pop it in the oven for a little while till it melts. Have a little container of like old El Paso salsa that we mix a little Tabasco in. Eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it's a wrestling pay-per-view, we make super nachos. Super nachos are delicious. Super nachos, same nacho chips. We lay them out thin on a baking sheet, and we grate cheese over it, cheddar cheese. Sometimes we'll throw some like Monterey Jack in there too if we have some. Then we put on, either we make our own guacamole and put that on, or if we don't have any, we do refried beans. We put that on. Put on a whole bunch of ground beef that we cooked up in that like old El Paso taco mix, which is really good. Put that all over it. Pop it on the top rack of the oven on broil for a few minutes until it's like super melted and nice. Take it out. We chop up a bunch of fresh tomato and green onion. Put that on it. Put a bunch of yogurt on it, which kind of plays like Greek yogurt plays the role of sour cream, while being lighter and less calories and more delicious. And then we shred some lettuce to put on top of that. And that is very good nacho.
You have lettuce, eh?
Yeah, lettuce.
You like that crunchy water?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
See, I like lettuce just not on nachos, personally.
Okay. What about on tacos?
Yeah, I guess. I haven't had tacos in years, man.
Oh, we eat it pretty often, but we're starting to migrate towards burrito bowls a little bit more because we got a slow cooker and we've been slow cooking beef and making our own barbacoa, and it is delicious.
Mm.
And barbacoa goes fantastic on a bed of rice in a burrito bowl.
So we've been going for nearly 2 hours. No, more than 2 hours. 2:20. Okay, I'm going to take some time at the moment to answer all the super chats.
Go for it.
Pull them up. Let's just see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Sean says for $5, thanks very much. He says, if you want one, DM me where to send you one. I'll send several. I don't know what you're referring to. God damn it. But sure. I mean, my DMs are open. It's easy just to tweet at me and say follow back so I can DM you, and then I follow back and you can DM me. And my Discord DMs are open, so it's not a big deal. Redeemable Grace for $10, thanks. Of those PS2 games, is a Metal Arms glitch in the system in there, and could you stream it in the future? It's crazy expensive on Amazon. I love all the videos you do. Thanks for all the free entertainment. Well, first of all, it wasn't free for you. You paid $10. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, I am open to streaming any game on Game Boomers. There's a few rules. One is that if it's a new game, I want to try and do it if I'm interested in it. I want to do that sooner rather than later. Two, if someone pays for a game playthrough, I do that sooner rather than later. But other than that, I'll play basically anything, and I'm down to try the only games that I don't like are stealth games, I think.
Really? I'm big into those.
Yeah, not for me. I enjoy, and even then, like I like Darkwood, which is kind of a stealth game, but like I like survival games, I like puzzle games, I like RPGs, I like action games, platformers. Doesn't matter. I'll play anything on Game Boomers, you know. So if there's a game that you want me to play sooner rather than later, you know, if you donate it, if you pay for it, we'll do it sooner rather than later. That's always been my rule, is that I'll try anything, at least one session, I'll give it a shot, one stream. Here's 5 from Heinrich. Thanks very much. Shia LaBeouf versus Sunni LaBeouf. Who would win?
Who?
Okay. Shia and Sunni are the 2 tribes of Muslim.
Oh, yes, I do know that. I didn't catch the joke because I heard Shia LaBeouf, and I just and then I just registered that we're talking about 2 people.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Fatima used to be Sunni.
Let's see.
Yeah. When I first asked her out, she had hijab on.
Oh, not anymore? Did you deconvert her?
No, I always made it very clear to her from the very beginning that I didn't care about if she stayed religious and everything. But just over the course of our relationship, like almost a year in, she basically ditched her religion because she, just through conversations with me, because I know history really well, she'd bring up historical inaccuracies to me, like really crazy stuff, and I'd be like, no, that's not true. Like, she said, like, oh, Muslims never did a holy war, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I just brought up like 10. And like,
I'm
just throughout these
surprised.
conversations, she realized that her parents had just been like, basically she just came to me one day and she just said, you know, I think I'm only Muslim because my parents scared me into it. And so she just came to her own conclusion on that, and I really respect that.
Well, let's hope that she doesn't get honor killed at some point or something, because...
she's already been disowned by her parents.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, fair enough.
They specifically said it's because I'm white. Like...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
dude. That sucks,
it's
man.
because of my... Oh, yeah. But I'm used to it, because even my girlfriend before that in high school hated me for my race too. Like she didn't hate me, her parents did. She was Polish, and her parents are Polish immigrants, and they didn't like me. They made it very clear why.
Yeah, see,
but I'm used to it.
There's an argument, especially it's being made in the UK right now, that like Muslim immigrants don't integrate into the wider society, and they create these enclaves. And I think that's true, but the it's like enforced by the enclaves that they've already created. I think when given a chance, for everyone who thinks that no, they're those brown people just can't do it, it's like no. Given a chance, they will become westernized. Obviously, it's not a racial thing; it's a cultural thing.
Yeah,
which is
I agree. I do think people integrate better than people give it credit for.
Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely like, at least in the UK, there's like a critical mass of people now where it's like they're not integrating, they don't have to anymore, and it's like that's a problem. That's a serious problem.
It was too many, too fast, all in the same area, so they just made their own enclaves, and that's when it becomes a problem. I think that's why you do need to have a number that needs to be controlled, because if you get too many too fast, they're just going to create their own neighborhood and be able to be self-sufficient without going out and experiencing what the rest of the country is like.
Yeah.
They don't have any reason to live like the country that they're in.
It's quite literally a colony. And
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it really is a colony in another country where you can go to some neighborhoods, and if not for the weather and maybe the architecture, you wouldn't know that this is not a country of like a different language, for instance. Like, maybe some of the signage will be what it's supposed to be legally, but either in the architecture and everything, it's like everybody here, like Sweden, there's parts of Stockholm where almost everyone is Somali, and it's like, this is wild. Like, how did it happen that all of these Somali people came to the same spot?
Sweden is not going to be a country in the next 100 years, I don't think. It'll be gone. I'm pretty sure it will be.
I think it'll still be around. I do think Sweden will fix their problems, just begrudgingly.
As an ethnicity, they won't exist anymore. They'll be basically outbred, I think, in their own homeland. I think the Swedes are completely fucked. Like they're done.
They'll be a minority, sure, but I think that they'll always be around. Retro in the chat, something Sweden. Yeah, Retro is a super long time viewer of mine. We make wrestling jokes back and forth till the end of time. He's also Swedish.
Oh, does he?
I have a lot of Swedish viewers, in fact. Most of my viewers on my streams are Swedish or Dutch.
Are they like please, our country's going under.
Oh yeah, like none of my Swedish viewers like Sweden all that much, I don't think. But like, and it's funny because I've never been a very political channel, and yet they're just like normal people who are like, fucking Sweden, man. But yeah, the majority of my like stream viewers, I guess less now that I'm getting more popular, but they usually are Swedish or Dutch, with people who have bad sleep schedules, and that's why they watch me. But apparently the Swedes like me because I used to play a lot of Swedish video games, and the Dutch like me because of how I talk. I'm incredibly blunt and direct and honest, and that is how Dutch people are. They do not really try to beat around the bush or hide their intention. They're just really, really direct people. And that's apparently why the Dutch really like me. And I really like the Dutch, so that's cool. Plus, the Netherlands is one of the funnest countries to play in, like every strategy game they're in.
So
there you go.
People are saying that Canada's going to go the same way. I don't think so, just because it's harder to get here. Like we have some problem enclaves too, but it's not nearly as bad as the UK or Germany or Sweden, you know?
It's also a very large country.
Yeah.
Like the second largest country in the world. Like you got to remember that a lot of these problems that you hear about Canada are from two cities in the whole country. It's like Vancouver and it's Toronto. And
even then, Vancouver's not nearly as bad as Toronto. Like I've been to Vancouver a few times.
No, they integrate better.
I've had friends who live in Vancouver. Yeah, just it's the problem there is like rich Chinese money coming in and buying stuff up. The actual population of Vancouver isn't that bad, you know?
And even then, like a lot of the Chinese people coming in integrate quite well, especially that a lot of them who come in are from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is much more like us than mainland China.
Which is why they're getting fucked at the moment, by the way.
You know, the United States just unanimously passed a bipartisan Hong Kong protection bill earlier this week.
Yep.
Every single Republican and Democrat.
And actually, did you see that in the recent Hong Kong elections, the pro-democracy party swept their elections, and like the pro-Beijing party has been completely put out? I called it. And you know what? We're going to see tanks in Hong Kong soon.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Because they have been mobilizing on the border and trying to hide it.
Yep.
But the military police have been coming in more and more and trying to, we're just cleaning up the roads. For anyone who doesn't know me, Hong Kong is very close to me emotionally. I have an uncle who lives there. I have family there. My granny just moved there a few weeks ago to live with my uncle. Like Hong Kong is very, very important.
Well, first
to me
of all,
and has
Jesus,
been for a long time.
They shouldn't be moving there. The place is going to be on fire soon.
Oh, I know, but I have relatives. I'm not gonna say who. I have relatives who actively participate in the protests.
Damn, dude, crazy.
Yeah, and my granny, I do seriously worry about my granny because my granny is a tough old lady, and she will not back down to like a police officer getting in her face.
Yeah.
She stands her ground. She's very nice, but she is very stern, and she is a tough old lady. And I don't think culturally that she is ready for what will happen if she stands up to a police officer over there, though, during this kind of escalated situation.
Yeah.
I am quite concerned for her.
I know right now that there's there are Canadian students who are Asian who are trapped on a campus in Hong Kong, and they can't leave because in that part of the city, it's entirely held by the Chinese government. And so, and they're young people, so if they're seen, they'll get the shit kicked out of them. So they can't even come back to Canada. They're just stuck there.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that some of the triads are siding with mainland China because it's where the money is.
Yeah.
Not all the triad are. Not all the triad are. Okay, I shouldn't say any of the triad are not total scumbags because it is the triad we're talking about. Look, some triad people are more sane than you might think. When you think the triad, you think total butchers. But there are triad people who are more reasonable. I have a family member who once did a favor. They go to triad bars because the beer is cheap, and they did a favor for someone, just like a completely innocent person. They didn't even know particularly that they were triad. And afterwards, they're like, "Oh, thanks, man. If you ever need someone cleaved, let me know." Like, because that's how the triad do it down there. It's real hard to get guns, so they cleave people with meat cleavers. There was like a student protester found dead last month, where it's like, oh, they must have fallen off this building. Okay, they're at the bottom of the building. It doesn't look like they fell off the building, and their foot is severed from their body. That was a triad killing. That's a fucking telltale triad killing.
Yeah, I remember seeing the picture. I put it in one of my videos actually on Blizzard.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I put the picture of the guy's foot in the Blizzard video. Like, hey, Blizzard, that's what you support. You pieces
I
of
think
shit.
I think I probably was looking away for that because I don't want to see that shit again.
Yeah.
But I do remember you capping off a video by saying a list of this is who you support if you support Blizzard.
Yep. And one of them was the severed foot. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I've had a lot of conflict about what my personal ruling is going to be on how long do I not support Blizzard, because I can't ethically support them. I care too much about Hong Kong, even though I've been a lifelong fan of a lot of Blizzard games, and it hurts because I really enjoy Classic WoW. Like, I've been playing on a private server for a long time, and so when Classic WoW came out, I was having a blast. So I hate putting it down for a little while, but the person I heard come up with the best thing of not playing it was actually Fraser from Video Games Awesome, who he's a massive Overwatch fan. It's his favorite game. And even he said, like, I'm putting down Overwatch for now. And he said offhand, like, they're asking, like, so how long are you putting it down for? And he said, okay, so Blitzchung is going to get banned for 6 months now. I'm going to show them how long 6 months is. I'm not playing their games on my show or anything. I'm not giving them money for 6 months. And when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty fair. I think that's a pretty fair response.
No, see,
and
for
so
me,
that's what
for
I've
me,
decided to do.
For me, I'm not playing them ever again. Period.
Okay.
And I will pirate D4 if I want to play it. I'm not giving them a single cent.
Wait, hold on. Is D4?
Diablo 4.
Oh, Diablo 4. I thought you were talking about Dark Dreams Don't Die.
No.
Like the Sweary game. And I'm like, I almost had like heart palpitations. I'm like, oh my God, is episode 2 of D4 actually getting made? Wait, why is it being made by Blizzard?
Can you fucking imagine?
Oh my God, like that's the only thing that could make me happier than the announcement of
Deadly Premonition?
That's the only thing that could make Deadly Premonition 2 has me happier than a next episode of D4, but man, D4, that is a crime against humanity that game is not getting finished, because man, that was cool as hell.
Well, see, from what I know, Fraser seems to be like an Overwatch addict. So it actually it doesn't necessarily mean, and I think like, I mean, it's no surprise. There's probably guys from like that secret Discord that you got expelled from.
Yeah, I got expelled from for being too polite and for disagreeing with a moderator who knew fucing nothing about how YouTube works.
Well,
what an absolute
hold on,
bitch.
Because I'm still friendly with those guys, even if you aren't. I still like tell them when they're wrong. So I'm like, oh no, I don't agree with this. Like, I'm not afraid to say that.
Oh, but I can't tell them when they're wrong, apparently.
Well, no, it's because like they've kind of been watching the slow decline of Fraser's show. He's almost like a Spoonie at this point, or like any of those other YouTubers that once had a great show and now is gone. You know, because his views are down. His uploads are down.
There's more value left.
You think so?
You can still go back and watch the old stuff, and it is still legitimately really funny, and he hasn't purged it. And but
same with Spoonie though. It's the same thing. Like, you can just go back and watch the old stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I will say they still do put out good stuff sometimes. The things you need to look out for is when they do motion control games, because when Fraser is standing up and moving around, he suddenly gets his energy back, and it feels like the old days. I know this sounds stupid, but they recently did that Switch fitness game with the ring.
Yeah.
It was really fucking funny because they were into it. Because when Fraser's standing up, he defaults back to his sketch comedy days from way back before Awesome Video Games. Sorry, before Video Games Awesome, when he was Awesome Video Games. And he's instantly like mugging for the camera and goofing around. It's like, okay, he's still got it. Like, well, it comes back to him.
It's what you said about Spoonie, is that like every once in a while you'll see like a glimmer of the old Spoonie behind, you know, just him being sour all the time. You know, it's kind of the same
that's like with Spoonie, it's a fucking glimpse. With Fraser, you'll get a whole episode of greatness again. It's not the same without the whole crew, obviously. It's a different show vibe, but there's still value, and it comes and goes.
Well, see,
yeah, you go.
Yeah. My whole point is that it's not much of a sacrifice to an actual Blizzard addict like him to quit for 6 months, I don't think. Because like his show is small enough now that not playing Overwatch on it's not going to matter to Blizzard. He's not. This isn't like Ninja giving up Fortnite, you know, where basically Ninja made that game on Twitch. It's not the same situation. Yeah. He doesn't have the clout. I think he thinks he has the clout that he used to have, and he really doesn't anymore.
Fraser?
Yeah. I think
I
on
think
some
he's
level
aware.
he does.
He's aware of the decline on some level, but he still does think that he has
Clout. Yeah,
clout. And the thing is, he does to some degree.
maybe.
In the same way that a lot of old YouTubers who don't have as big of an audience anymore still do retain some clout because of being a recognizable name.
Maybe. But in terms of being like a Blizzard addict, you know, and I consider myself one of those. You know, my girlfriend, her and I, back when I actually liked Overwatch, we would play it, you know, like 12 hours a day, you know?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. When I was in university, I failed at a university first time, partially because of my World of Warcraft playing, you know? So I am one of those old diehard Blizzard fans, and I'm just like, no, I'm done. I don't care what games I miss, I'm done. Until the China situation is rectified, and that will never happen within my lifetime insofar as Blizzard's concerned, I'm done with them.
When you say the China situation, you're talking about their involvement with China, not like Chinese Communist Party existing,
yes,
right?
Yes, their involvement with China. And it's strange because, like, you know, people keep saying, oh, you need the Chinese dollar, the China bucks. And it's like, well, Joker didn't get released in China. It just hit $1 billion.
Yeah, you don't need
it
to stoop to the level of catering to China. Like, I understand why it's so tempting, but it truly isn't necessary. Also, I have now had my second YouTuber friend just DM me and be like, nice interview, man. Didn't you know you knew Dev?
Who was that? Can you say? Or?
Can I say your name? DM me if I can say your name on the stream, because I don't know if you want the backlash, just because for no fucking reason, Dev is controversial, and I don't get it because he doesn't say goddamn anything controversial.
I'm controversial because I don't really participate in cancel culture, and I've made that an official stance since Pro Jared. So, like, I will, I'll actually talk to Sargon all the time. Doesn't matter doesn't matter what crazy shit he says, because, you know, Sargon says things that I disagree with regularly, but that doesn't end a friendship, in my opinion. I'll still play games with him, you know?
I don't agree with him plenty, but I still am interested in hearing his opinion. It rounds out my opinion more, especially if I don't agree. But
I'm
I don't.
Surprised that I'm considered controversial now. I haven't heard anybody say like, "Oh, that SFO guy," the way they say like, "Oh, Sargon" or "Oh, Arch." You know,
I've heard it a little.
Really?
It's a thing of they hate anybody who if I can will say be associated in any way with someone that they consider to be the devil. Sargon is obviously the devil to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so, like, and that's the thing is, like, I have a running joke and a running bet with a few of my friends where we're all, like, YouTubers who do this for a living of who will get canceled first between the four of us. And 3 of the 4 of us think it's me.
Yeah, how come?
And then one of them thinks it's one of the other guys, but even that other guy says it's going to be me. Because I am too fucking honest for my own good. I will speak my mind. And that's the thing is I don't shove it down people's throats, and I'm really nice about it. And if you don't agree with me, that's perfectly okay. I don't hold it against you. You lived your own life. But someone's going to take something I said out of context. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. I'm going to have said something stupid that's going to get taken out of context, and they're going to try to cancel me. And I will refuse to apologize because I'm not going to see what's wrong. Or I'm going to say, oh God, yeah, I was really stupid. Like that, I was 19 when I said that. That was fucking stupid. Sorry about that. And I refuse to delete it because I'm like, well, yeah, that's part of growing up, man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like I used to be pro-communism for years and years and years, and now I think that's fucking dumb.
Do you have like a communist sickle tattoo the way that Count Dankula does from his youth?
No, I don't have tattoos. Nothing like that. But like there were videos up until there were videos up until I guess I don't know what year. For a long time, where I would be like, we're in passing, someone bring it up, and I'd be like, oh, I think it's like a good way of blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's such. I didn't know anything about economics, and I didn't really understand the moral implications and stuff. It's just, this was before everyone was really, really politically active, so I didn't really understand. And of course, I didn't know that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I was some dumb kid. But like, that's the thing is like, occasionally I'll get a comment in some really old video, and they're like, they either agree or disagree with the communist thing. They're like, oh, I agreed with you until you said this stupid fucking communist shit. And I responded with like, oh yeah, I've grown up a lot since then. Like, that was stupid shit. And they're like, oh, that's cool, man. Or they'll be like, I really respect what you said about that. And I'll just be like, I'm sorry to say, but like, I'm embarrassed of this video. Like, I think that was really stupid and short-sighted of me. Like, so yeah.
Yes. Did he say if you can release his name or no?
Let me check. Thoughts going on, some association here. I've got some association that would probably flip to hear about my guild association. Make it clear to me, human, if I am allowed to say your name or not.
Okay, here's what
Give
we'll do.
me a direct yes or no.
Here, I won't
I
reveal
want to shout
it.
you out. Your channel's fucking awesome.
Here, just wait. I won't reveal it. Just type it in the PM so I know. Because I'm kind of curious.
I'll type it to you. I don't know if you'll know him. He's not huge, but his shit is so fucking good. He's gonna get big one day, I swear to God. I don't know how it hasn't happened yet. I met him back in the Payday 2 days, and he is the fucking man. His shit is so good. Okay, look up. I just typed it to you.
Yeah.
Look up that fucking. Okay, he says no. Okay, I'm not gonna bring up his name publicly.
No.
Go look that dude up because his shit's so fucking good. Like, seriously. Like, I tried to get him a gig with ShoddyCast, and then ShoddyCast exploded.
I unfortunately do not know who that is. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
Look him up. He does a lot of Payday 2 stuff, but he also does like a lot of general gaming reviews, and they are so slick and so good. He understands sound design in a way that a lot of YouTubers don't, and I really, really respect that because that's some hard shit.
I'm a fucking retard.
Yeah.
I went to his channel to go check it out and sub to him, and then his channel trailer just started playing on the stream. Oops.
Did he say his name in it?
No.
You're in the clear.
Hopefully they
Come on, no one's gonna recognize 1 second of it at the beginning of a channel trailer.
Like people just start hunting down like that music. Well, what is it? What is that music, dude? It'll probably be fine.
Jesus Christ is the most anonymous internet blowjob I've ever got. I'm being honest and you know it. I've been telling you that your shit's great for years.
Well, in any case,
SFO endorses Stalinism.
People,
oh shit! You endorse Stalinism? I can't be your friend
do,
anymore.
Yeah. People were asking like earlier about the whole Sargon thing and what makes him controversial. I think I know what it is. Like when you talk to like the hyper left on Twitter, or the commies or the SJWs or whatever, they say that they call Sargon alt-right, and then if you can get one of them to talk to you honestly about it, which is like 1 in 50, let's be honest, they'll say, well, actually, Sargon isn't alt-right. He's a gateway to the alt-right. And then if you can get one of them to talk to you what they mean about that, and you get about 1 in 50 of them to actually go into their ideas and not just call you a bigot.
It's usually just ad hominems if you ask that.
Yeah, but when they say, what do you mean by he's a gateway to the alt-right? And it's like, well, because he's willing to talk to them. He's willing to platform them. He's willing to debate them. He's willing to, even though he disagrees with all of the alt-right's ideas, the fact that he engages with them rather than isolates them away into their own part of the internet means that people means that you get like, liberals who are just kind of normal people listen to Sargon debate Richard Spencer, like over on Andy Worski's show a couple of years ago. You listen to something like that, and then those normal people become neo-Nazis. They become the alt-right. And in fact, someone said, here's how I view Sargon. If you have a table of 8 people, and one of them is a neo-Nazi, and they're all talking about politics, then you have a table of 8 neo-Nazis. And that's how they view Sargon. Which is ridiculous, by the way.
That's really ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. And it's like, on the one hand, if your philosophy is so fucking terrible that you can't beat out the neo-Nazis in a conversation, you might have some thinking to do about yourself, either your philosophy or your ability to speak it. Because there's some kind of problem there. You should be able to out debate like the alt-right, because they're frankly a fucking joke. And 2, I don't agree that platforming is the same as endorsing. I believe that you not. I believe that you beat terrible philosophies by debating them, and not by converting your opponent, but by showing them to be the fucking loser that they are. And then the audience that's watching the debate becomes convinced by your ideas and not theirs. That's how you do it.
You know what was the thing that convinced me that Alex Jones is as crazy as people say?
What?
Count Dankula's interview with him. Like, that's the thing, is like, I always heard about this guy being so crazy, and I saw little clips here and there, and I'm like, he's goofy, he's funny, he's really funny, and he's clearly putting on a character to some degree, and he seems like a fun and funny guy that I rarely agree with. And it wasn't until I saw an interview with Count Dankula with him, just letting him talk, where I'm like, oh, this dude is pretty crazy. Like, he's not dangerous at all, I don't think, but he's a pretty crazy dude. Like, he literally believes in like weird mystical shit, like imps and goblins. He believes in imps and goblins, and I'm like, wow, this dude really is crazy. Like, and that's the thing is like, I don't think Alex Jones is dangerous in any way, and I think he's a really, really funny guy. But that's the thing is like, him being platformed by a channel I watch, by Count Dankula, who's considered like evil and whatever. Yeah, he is an entertainer. I agree. But him talking about like these imps and goblin stuff, if he genuinely believes that, which on some level, I don't know, then he's pretty crazy. However, I can also see that he might just be a performer. I don't know. However,
well, the thing is that even if someone's crazy, they're not necessarily dangerous, even to
exactly.
platform. Like here, let's say that absolutely nothing Alex Jones does is an act, and he actually believes the most insane things that he says. Put him on a stage and just see how many people he actually converts over to his ideas, and then see, of those people who were converted, how many of them are actually violent. I bet the number is like 0, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not a problem just talking to these people. It's not a problem at all. But yet, that's how the alt-right views Sargon. You know, they view him as the gateway because he's willing to engage rather than like cordon himself off. And like, if you look at the American election right now, the biggest problem the Democrats have is that they believe the path forward is not to engage with those that they disagree with, but to isolate themselves from those they disagree with. And that happens to be more than half of the fucking voter base. So they're going to lose. Trump's going to win.
It's crazy.
Like Trump's going to win not on his strengths, but because the Democrats are absolutely terrible this time around.
It's crazy to me that so many people I knew didn't understand why I found it so stupid when the election was going in America, and it was, you know, Hillary Clinton versus Trump, when it was very clear that it was those two. The time that Hillary Clinton in an interview said that you could take half of Trump's supporters and put them in a basket of deplorables, and people are like, yeah, whatever, like, she's totally right. And I'm like, why would you ever say, like, first of all, you're disparaging a bunch of strangers who, like, I don't understand. The people who are already voting for you are already voting for you. Okay. You're catering to them on some degree to get them to continue wanting to vote for you all the way up until election day. And you just say half of the people who are considering your opponent are deplorable people? Okay, well, you've just guaranteed that if anyone feels like they're being talked about in that, they will never vote for you. Yeah. Why would you do that? What an awful thing to say about somebody. What an awful thing to say. I guess if she's saying that's half of Trump's supporters, and I'm sure in her mind, Trump supporters were like 5% of the population. She just called, in her mind, 2.5% of the population deplorable people. What an awful thing to say to millions of people.
Yeah. No,
you don't know them. They're strangers. What a terrible thing to say about them.
See, I can talk about this, I think, philosophically. And these are probably like my weirdest videos, or when I talk about ideas behind events and not the events themselves, like with the UBI video I did.
I was just about to say, that video was mostly like a philosophical thing, which I like, by the way, because I was a philosophy major guy in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Philosophy and Comtech, which communications technology in my school was just video editing. So I was philosophy and video editing.
Yeah, in my school, Comtech was like just basically the computer hardware, like opening up computers.
Okay,
stuff like that.
First, we didn't have a computer hardware thing, even though we were a tech school. We had video editing and filmmaking, which was Comtech, and then we had media arts, which was just Photoshop, which I also did.
Yep, I did media arts in high school too, and it was like
media arts. Bad teacher, fun class.
In high school, I chose a bunch of really shitty classes that I could skip half the time and still pass like a 90.
I did not have such luxury, but I did have a very good philosophy teacher my first time taking it. I actually took it twice because I enjoyed it so much, and I was coming back for an optional grade 13 anyway because I wanted to catch up on some classes that I didn't take the first time.
Yeah, I had that too. I had the grade 13 too. That was like
I just did one
year.
semester of it. Yeah, it was my fun year where I took 3 classes. That's it. Where it was like I had to take at least 3, so I had 2 lunches. I took philosophy again. It was with a different teacher. It wasn't as good, but it was okay. And then I took English again, I think. And I took like a grade 11 leadership class because I never got to take it the first time, and I thought it seemed like fun, and it was pretty fun. I was by far the oldest person in the class, obviously, but whatever, it was fun. But my original philosophy teacher, Mr. Bright, was fucking phenomenal. Nicest guy ever, very creative guy, very eccentric and goofy, but he was so passionate about philosophy, and he could get that message across to everybody so well. He was great.
Okay, we got off track for a minute. So
Sorry.
I was like thinking of my media art story. So it's like, hold on, we actually have a stream here. Okay, so for example, when you encounter something that runs counter to your purposes, you basically have two options, and you only have two options. This applies to everything. You can engage with it in the hopes of making it no longer a problem, or you can isolate yourself from it so that it doesn't infect you with whatever it is, right? Those are the two ways that people deal with things that are dirty. So, for example, when you have a house, first of all, you want to keep dirt out of the house, so you'll like clean off your boots before coming in. But secondly, you'll also clean up the dirt that's in the house. You'll sweep the floor, you'll vacuum, you'll do whatever it is. So those are the two ways. Either you engage with dirty things to make them clean, or you isolate yourself from dirty things so that you stay clean. Those are your two options. So when those are basically, that's it. All reactions to things that oppose you boil down to one of those two camps. Now, when you apply this to the Democrats, they're not willing to engage because that's debate. Instead, they're willing to isolate themselves, which involves virtue signaling and going into like purity spirals and things like that. And that is the biggest problem with the Democrats right now, is that they cannot even countenance the idea of engaging Trump on his level and beating him. Because if you want to beat Trump decisively, that's how you do it. You basically give him the floor and you destroy him anyway. But none of them can do that. Like there was, I don't know who they were talking about. Were they talking about Tulsi? I don't know. They were talking about somebody in the most recent debate, and they held it as a negative mark against them that they were willing to have political discussions with dictators.
Okay.
And it's like, isn't that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, let's deal with North Korea. How do we prevent nuclear war on the Korean Peninsula? Okay, maybe we actually talk to the people who are currently in charge of North Korea, evil as they are, rather than purely isolating themselves to make yourself look good and feel good. That is the nature of politics. Sometimes you must deal with people you don't like. Sometimes you must deal with some very objectively evil people in order to get good things done. It's just how it is. And the Democrats haven't figured this out, or that they've lost it on their way to on their way to utopia, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's frustrating because how do they think that they're ever going to convince someone that perhaps they're not making the right decision if they refuse to allow them to participate in the conversation?
Well,
and why are they so sure that their way is the right way if they're not even willing to entertain any kind of opposing opinion?
Well, because they operate an ideology. Right? If you have a grand vision of the future, then it's like, okay, well, that's obviously the right thing to do. And then if there's other ideas, it's like, well, those aren't right because they don't lead to my outcome. Even if their own philosophy doesn't lead to the outcome that they want, the fact that they believe it, it's almost like a faith. They almost operate religiously in terms of how they do their politics. If you ever listen to like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez talk, she talks like a religious person.
She does. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, so something I learned about politics when I started to get more aware of politics, when I was a teenager and very early adulthood, I was one of those edgy, like, anti-theist people, right?
Yeah.
Either then with Fatima, where, I don't know, maybe it was just something about seeing the person in person where I could very clearly say, like, no, I really care about this person, and it doesn't bother me that they are this religion or whatever. And it helped me grow out of that kind of immature thinking of like blaming the religious person. Like they didn't choose to be religious. This is what they believe in. You don't change a mind like that. But a fan of Richard Dawkins, and Richard Dawkins had, I believe it was him, had a quote that I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, he was asked about like what makes you dislike religion so strongly, and he said, religion is the only thing that can make a good man do bad things.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting, and I understood his reasoning for it. But as I got older and got more in tune with politics, two things that I knew that never went together for me suddenly clicked together like perfectly, and I'm like, okay, I kind of get this thing that like people probably have understood for a long time. Is he said, you know, politics makes good, or sorry, he said religion makes good men do bad things. And I remember always seeing on forums, no talking about religion or politics. And those are two things. And I always thought like, that's so weird. Like, cause I didn't know much about politics, but I'm like, religion, I get, people get fanatical about that. Politics, isn't that like based in facts and stuff? And, you know, I wasn't very politically active. So when I got older and I saw these people being crazy about politics, and I looked at them like, this is so much like the most radical people of religion. And then I suddenly thought, no politics, no religion. I'm like, oh my God, politics is something that makes good men do bad things. This really, like, these two things operate on the same, I don't know, part of the brain or something. Like, they operate so similarly in human behavior that it's like we treat them the same way, and it's so wild. Well, and that's how we started to learn about what ideology does to people.
Yeah, I mean, it's why a lot of politicians do operate on faith. You know, you get like the communists who cannot accept that their philosophy has been tried many times and it has failed every single time, you know? Yeah. They make up excuses for it and like, just try it again. That's always been their answer, is just try it again. But, you know, the experiments come back, we know now it doesn't work. But they can't accept that because they operate on faith. To them, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's and it's funny because like
I wanted to ask you something. Regarding your wife.
Yeah.
How is it that in your initial conversations when she was still religious, she didn't just end the relationship because you weren't religious?
Well, she walked up to me at the bus stop one day in high school. And the first thing she said to me was, I think our bus driver was deported.
All right.
And I turned to her, and there's this little Muslim girl with her hijab on who decided to walk up to the guy who looks like a mugger, because everyone was afraid of me in high school because I was born anemic, so I have dark purple bags around my eyes at all times and very pale skin. It's a birth defect. You can't see it on camera very well because of the different lighting and everything, but you really see it in person. I look like a zombie. She decided to walk up to me with my wild hair and my beard and my leather jacket and all this shit, and I was just taken aback. We ended up talking the whole bus ride, and we ended up talking nonstop for a week. And then after that week, I asked her out because I was having so much fun talking to her, and I just came out of a really bad relationship a few months earlier that lasted for like a year. I asked her out, and she said yes. And I didn't really know why until later, because I didn't know her home situation or anything. But later she explained to me that, like, yeah, in her religion and with her going to the mosque and everything, she wasn't supposed to date anyone. She was already told she's not allowed to date. And that, you know, when the day comes that she wants to marry someone, she just has to tell her dad, and her dad will find someone good at the mosque. And her dad is Western for a guy who grew up in Iraq, between Iraq and Turkey.
Yeah.
And, you know, was in his older years when he came to Canada. He's fairly Western for a guy like that. But, you know, he jokes around and everything in his seminars, but in his household, he still runs it as kind of a traditional Muslim thing. So he said, like, you know, I'll find you someone good from the mosque, and I'm going to make sure it's someone good, but I'll find you someone from the mosque. And so, you know, a few times over the years, she tried to come up to her dad and her mom and say, like, I found a guy, and like, I really like him. They're like, he's a white guy and he's not Muslim. And they're like, no, you don't get involved. Like, there's like threats involved. And she's like, okay, I'm not going to get involved. And she tried to bring it up to them multiple times, shook her mom's hand once in a mall. And then the second, she's like, I walk up to the mom with her. I reach out my hand, I shake her hand, and Fatima's like, this is the man I want to marry. And immediately the rest of the conversation's in Arabic, and the mom won't look at me anymore. And
yeah,
she had to be like, okay, I'll break it off with them. And it's like,
And she
You know,
didn't,
the day comes,
obviously.
and you know, after like 6 years of this, we get the money to get a place together. We move in together, and she has to call them and or text them and just say, look, I didn't move in with my friend Erica. I moved in with the man that I kept trying to introduce you to. And like, I love you guys dearly and I still want you to be a part of my life. But, you know, Madrat's got to be a part of my life too. And the response is they disowned her. So, but yeah, she said yes to me just because she was taken aback. She's never been super, super religious. She messaged her friend and said, I just got asked out. And her friend is from like Newfoundland and is just some white girl. And she's like, say yes, say yes. Like, who knows what it's going to lead to? And so she's like, okay. Like she had fun talking with me for like a week. So she said yes. And we've dated ever since.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've dated a couple of Chinese girls, and one of them, the culture was actually a pretty serious problem because like, you know, she was, I think less, I don't know her anymore, but I think less so now. My impression of like the few interactions I've had with her since we've broken up is that she is less so fanatically pro-China now that she's been in Canada for like over a decade.
That's good.
But when we first started dating, she was fanatically pro-China the way that, you know, a new Muslim arrival would be fanatically pro-Islam. You know, it was that kind of a thing. And so, and you know, me being your average Western person would be like, no, I like Taiwan. They're a democratic country and China's not, so very
Taiwan's
clearly,
cool. I like it.
Yeah. So that would just be that would be like the end of conversation for the evening with her when it was early in the relationship because she was very pro China, right? But anyway,
so the chat said your whole life is thanks to a newfie. You better send a thank you card to that girl. Nah, she a bitch.
Is she? Did something happen there?
Oh yeah. The person who said yes to that actually turned out to be a bitch and isn't a family friend anymore. She was awful, but hey, fluke worked out in my favor.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm a newfie when it really comes when you boil it down.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're from Newfoundland?
Mm-hmm. Initially.
Oh, that's cool. I thought your accent was a little bit more maritime than Northern Ontario.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Actually,
I just assumed that, you know, I don't know what the accent is like where you live specifically, and who knows. I mean, when I grew up in Dunnville, the accent is very different from a lot of Canada.
People who hear me like for just one video, they think I'm American, actually.
A lot of people think that I'm American. Makes more sense for me, I guess, because my accent is more muddled than yours. But last week, I had 2 people in the same day think I was either Scottish or Irish, and I do not get it.
Yeah, I don't hear it at all.
At all. Not at all. Like, I pronounce, there's a few things that I pronounce very slightly in, not an Irish accent, but in enunciation that's a little bit more Irish, and I think that's part of Dunnville. But, like, seriously, like 99.9% of what I say sounds North American, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, like, when you mentioned, you know, having the conversations with your wife about, oh yeah, the Muslims didn't go on any holy wars, you know? Whenever I had that equivalent conversation with my Chinese girlfriend, it would usually lead to a fight, you know? It made things less stable, not more stable. So it's interesting to hear from somebody who didn't have problems with it, unless you did and you're just not talking about them.
No, she didn't fight over that.
Fair
you
enough.
totally hear the British accent in Mah-Dry-Bread.
I don't.
I don't, but it wouldn't surprise me a ton if I have just a little, just due to the places that I've lived.
See, the thing is, I've hung out with so many Brits that I'm just like, nope, it's not there.
Yeah, same here. I hang out with quite a few Brits as well, so I don't really particularly hear it, because when I think of a British accent, I think of a much, 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 much thicker one.
Yeah.
So I could see if I have just the slightest bit. But yeah, it didn't really lead to fights when I would disagree with her over like a historical fact, because I'd very quickly just be like, I just laugh and say like, that's not true. And like, I point out why, like, that's the thing is I don't take it super seriously. I don't know. I don't sweat the small stuff, and I consider that small stuff. And maybe something about me not taking it super seriously and not being out to get her or anything, but just pointing at something and be like, oh, look, Wikipedia. And it's like, oh yeah, shit, that was wrong. It's like that. It's so obviously wrong that like Wikipedia got it right on the ball. Like, it's so undeniably like, yeah, this happened. Like, there's no way you can deny this. And she was just never informed. That she would just very quickly be like, oh yeah, I didn't know about that.
Oh god. So Muslim women are not allowed to question a man. That's where he got the advantage. That's
No,
what
she
it
was
is,
never.
actually.
She was never super religious. She just wore the hijab at school because she had to and stuff.
Yeah, it was one of those
And
things where,
she
like,
vaguely believed in God and stuff.
well, the
But
honest
you know,
truth
like,
is, you are lucky that she wasn't sent off back to the homeland after you got introduced to her, or like after you
oh
got
yeah,
introduced to her
yeah.
parents.
I
'Cause,
am
like,
lucky that her parents are Western enough, I guess you would say.
yeah, because there are so many horror stories that I've heard now about like girls who have grown up in the West and their parents don't like that they've become as westernized as they are growing up in the West, and so they get
Hmm.
sent back to be married off. And it's like, Jesus Christ, that just sounds awful, you know?
Yeah, it's good because you know, her dad. It's a shame because he sounds like he's a really funny guy, and that I'd probably get along with him great if not for the religious difference.
Hmm.
Because like that's the thing is like if I were his student, we'd probably love each other. But he looks, you know, obviously he's going to look at me very negatively because of the context of I got with his daughter and he wasn't okay with that. But he, you know, he was very clear on she doesn't need to get married until she wants to get married, and when she wants to get married she can say so, and he'll find someone from the mosque, and if she says no, the answer is fucking no. Like that's the way he looked at it, is like she doesn't need to get married unless she wants to, and if she gets married it's someone that she agrees to, which is way more progressive than a lot of the people from the mosque looked at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was his way of looking out for her, even though, you know, obviously he would consider that very progressive and he would consider that looking out for her, but he doesn't look at it from the perspective of, no, over here usually someone dates somebody because they love them and the relationship is more important than, you know, maybe it doesn't lead to marriage and maybe they do fuck around or whatever, and maybe this is going to lead to a divorce and whatever, but that's just part of humanity, and they don't necessarily look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know, they still look at marriage kind of like a business transaction, and part of that is that Fatima's always been very public about how her parents didn't love each other.
Mm.
And they made it very clear that they wanted to move apart forever, but they stayed together because of her brother. So
there was something I wanted to bring up here, which I can no longer find, unfortunately. Oh yeah, someone said you were her out, basically, of that family, and I can kind of understand that.
No, I caused many more problems in her home life than solved.
Okay, fair enough.
No, because the turmoil of dating a guy for 6 years that you can't bring up to with your parents without getting threatened.
Yeah.
That's stressful shit. Like we had a really hard time getting to see each other. It was so stressful for both of us for 6 years, and we didn't give up.
Well, did her parents, like, did they know and they were just pretending, or was she actually fooling her parents?
No, she would try to bring it up with them, and they would be like, "You got to break this off immediately," and they would threaten her into basically saying like, "Yeah, I'll break it off immediately," and obviously she wouldn't break it off. And she tried to bring it up like 6 times over 6 years.
Yeah.
And they would just basically, it seems like they took the stance of how do I word it? That they intimidate her on it. And yeah, it keeps coming back up every year, but it'll never get serious if we make it very clear that it can never be serious. That seems to be what they were trying to do. I don't think she was in physical danger or anything. And she doesn't think that she was either. But like, I'll put it this way, she's much better living with me than she was there, because she had very restrictive rules over her and everything. Whereas like she's still, all these years later, you know, we just passed our 10-year anniversary, and that was like a few weeks ago, and she's still trying to get used to living with a normal person, where like, you know, sometimes she'll just randomly ask for permission to do something, and I'm like, why are you asking for permission? You're an adult. Like, and yeah, you can text me on your way home from work and just say like, hey, I'm gonna go spend the night at Erica's place. Yeah, you can do that. Just like, you know, let me know where you are, so I'm not worried about you when you don't come home. That's it. You don't need my permission or anything. Like,
well, I brought that up because I know for a fact that I was basically Naomi's out of her home, and like it's not we don't really talk about it like on the channel, but it's no secret or anything that
Sorry, you cut out a little in Discord. What did you say?
I said that it's kind of a known fact on the channel that I was Naomi's out of her home, you know. I was her way. I mean, we obviously still care about each other, but I was her way to get out of her family, basically.
Yeah.
Because of some things that had happened there. Like, everyone always says, like, oh, Naomi's going to change her mind about not wanting kids someday, Dev. And I'm just like, well, she had 2 absentee parents, and she raised her 3 siblings, you know? And now that those siblings are going off to high school and whatever, she has decided to leave the family and go on her own life. So she's not just spending her entire youth raising kids that aren't hers.
Yeah.
And whenever I talk to her about it, she said that she feels like she has done her raising of kids already and she doesn't want to do it again. So I'm like, okay, fair
I can
enough.
understand that. And see, that makes a lot of sense hearing that, because isn't she quite a bit younger than you?
She is, yes.
See, that makes a lot of sense now, because that kind of experience would mature you pretty fast. So it makes a lot of sense to me that she would want to go for an older guy then.
Mm-hmm. And she's
not to say that you're some fucking 50-year-old, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like that makes a lot of sense hearing that.
Whenever I talk to her, most of the time it feels like she's in her late 20s and not her early 20s in terms of maturity.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was until I heard you say in passing on some stream or something that she's quite a bit younger than you, because I always assumed you were about the same age.
Nope. Of
course, she just seemed like the same age group as you, and her sense of humor and her maturity and everything.
No, I just lucked out, really.
Yeah, you fucking lucked. I lucked out too.
So we did this in the middle of the fucking super chats. This 40-minute side conversation about a bunch of different things.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't give you the warning ahead of time. I always give people a warning to budget at least 1 extra hour when getting in a call with me, because I ramble like a motherfucker.
Well, I will return to
Okay,
super
you
chats.
start on super chats. I just need a real quick bathroom break.
All right, sure. I'll do these while he's off doing that. Nicholas Peloso for $5. I always suspected Dev was a newfie. He gives off that cousin lover vibe. Thanks. Thanks, dude. Redeemable Grace for $5. The Chinese army has full-blown IFVs on standby. Those things have autocannons. We need to send in arms and SF now while we still can. I think Hong Kong's fucked, dude. I think Hong Kong's gone, unfortunately. Baron Voodoo for $5. Polish are very distrustful of Muslim countries. It's in our blood. I do have my trust issues, but my major issue is communist. Love from a Polish man. Well, Poland seems to be one of the uncucked EU nations, and good for you guys. There's nothing wrong with actually wanting to maintain your culture. There's a very big difference between being a supremacist and being someone who just wants your way of life to survive into the future. And the conflation between those two ideas is kind of ridiculous. There's Redeemable Grace talking about the Metal Arms game, which if you want, yeah, sure, I can play it. I think we already talked about that, though. Let's keep going. Dr. Odoroki for $5. Is there a situation where a country shouldn't accept refugees, like if they can't provide for them? Yes, in fact. I think rich nations do have some kind of moral obligation to help those who, if they don't come over, will die. But there's also definitely an obligation to care for your own first, If you're part of a country, if you're part of a country that is not rich enough to be able to support refugees, then you shouldn't have to support them. Obviously,
Yes.
Yeah, taking on refugees is like a privilege of a country, not in a sense,
and it's great if you can do it.
Yeah, there's definitely this argument floating around the radical left right now where it's like migration is a human right and we are so rich we should be able to take in the entire world's poor, and it's like no. Come on, guys, we have homeless people here. Yeah. Let's take care of our own.
It'd be awesome if that were possible, but it's not realistic.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
It's idealistic, but it's not realistic.
Let's see. Apparently when Sean gave the $5 of if you want one, DM me where to send you one. That was offering me MREs. That'd be awesome, dude. I'll totally.
What's MREs?
The rations.
Oh, right, the rations. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the anonymous YouTuber that I messaged you earlier, he said that he'd love to talk to you sometime.
Yeah, we can arrange it, sure. But I mean, he wouldn't be anonymous anymore if we did that.
I mean, I'm assuming he means in private. He just wants to talk a little. Okay, so here's
sure.
There's a lot of YouTubers, because I'm in normal YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Predominantly normal YouTube, but tons of people in gaming YouTube and everything. totally think like we think, and they're just really genuinely afraid to say it publicly because people will try to cancel them.
Oh yeah, I'm not fucking surprised, dude. I'm not fucking surprised at all.
Like our general opinions of kind of live and let live, politics has gotten too crazy, like the left has gone really left. Like most of us are people who are like generally left wing, and it feels like the left like fucking sprinted left past us, like really far.
Yep. That's where I feel
this
too.
is the average opinion of almost every non-political YouTuber that I talk to. We always have that moment of relief when we get in a call, politics comes up, and we're like, oh, it's so nice to talk to another not crazy person. Like, this is genuinely the general opinion of people in gaming YouTube, is they think exactly like us.
This is actually, I think, one of the possible reasons as to why Game Boomers hasn't taken off the way that SFO's taken off. And it's because I'm not shy about saying... Like, I don't bring up politics as a matter of course in Game Boomers. It's a gaming show. It's not a political show. But I'm not shy about saying, yeah, the left's gone fucking crazy recently. And I think a lot of the audience that's out there for gaming YouTube might not necessarily agree with that. So that keeps...
A lot of the audience does agree with that. It's that the people who don't will make it fucking known and will go out of their way to try and take you down.
Yeah, that's true too.
Is that they have just a hate boner for anyone who says anything that they remotely do not like. But like, that's the reason why I've had multiple people message me. I didn't even announce I was doing this stream with you. I didn't know it was a stream until an hour before we started.
But are you sure? I thought it was a stream yesterday.
I misread and I'm an idiot. However, I didn't know we were doing it like a political live stream. I just knew we were doing some political, whatever. It's gonna be fun to hang out with Dev. And then I have one of the head commentators of Monday Night fucking Raw message me, who happens to be a fan of yours, and I didn't know, message me, because we were gonna do some Pokemon stuff together. And he's like, oh, it's cool that you're on SFO. And I'm like, can I say your name publicly? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. Like, there's people... Dude from Monday Night Raw commentary booth up there with Jerry the King Lawler and random YouTube guy who does awesome YouTube videos from like two completely different walks of life. They both watch you and they're both like, hey man, it's cool that you're on there. Like saying that to me privately, because like this is an opinion that just normal people from all walks of life have. It's crazy. A normal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like, on the one hand, my channel's still small. On the other hand, it is nice that I'm being heard by somebody, you know? It's a good feeling.
So I've seen a lot of people in the chat say stuff like, SJW this, SJW that. One thing that I always try to get home to people is that a lot of people can say crazy things on social media sometimes, but they're often very good people in person. So I'm gonna say something that anyone who recognizes the name in the chat might be really blown away by. In that, like, whoa, how is that person like not a raging lunatic? Just because I understand the political slant of the people in the chat. So I'm friends with Stacy of Geek Remix. I've also worked for Mari quite a bit of Geek Remix. I am the admin of the Geek Remix Discord server.
Oh god.
And they're cool people in private, like especially Stacy. But yeah, I like Mari too. I've had disagreements with her, but she's always been polite and everything, especially in private, and they're good people. That's the main thing. Is they genuinely are kind-hearted people, and although Mari can spout stuff off on Twitter and stuff without really knowing the whole story sometimes, and it's frustrating, they really are kind-hearted people who have their hearts in the right place, and they're not as like, you know, let's punish people of the other political persuasion. They're not at all like that, as you might think that they are. Like, there's a lot of those radical elements in that Discord server, and I'm the admin of it, and I do what I can to try and keep things civil and honest. And I've had like what I call the refugees from that server, of the people who felt bullied out, who were actual like minorities in bad ways, who felt like they couldn't bring it up there because they're such like basic bitch political like, I want to have the most political brownie points here, and so I'm gonna shit all over the Saudi Arabian girl. Like, you know, like I made up 20 terms for myself, and so I'm more privileged than you. And they're like, shut up. Like, I deal with actual shit. But honestly, it's a lot of kind-hearted people who don't always see the full picture and are maybe kind of foolhardy. And I genuinely believe that the majority of these people are really good people.
The one thing that I know about Geek Remix is that one of the two, I don't know the difference between them. I don't know which one is which because I don't really watch them at all, you know. But one of them somewhere laid into Nicole hard back in the day because we supported Gamergate.
That was probably Mari. Mari's the one who's really active on like political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I genuinely think that some of Stacy's things she said online is just because she's a busy person. More like goes out and does triathlons and stuff. And I think a lot of what she hears is filtered through Mari. And if this ever gets back to Mari or Stacy, again, love them both to death. I think that they're great people. I think their hearts are in the right place, and I don't even disagree with them politically sometimes. But we are very different people. And so I am not at all talking negatively about them as like their character and everything. I think that they are really good people and that they get shit on too hard. But I also think that Mari especially is too willing to shit on people without giving people the benefit of the doubt or without looking into the full story. And you know what? That's something that a lot of people are guilty of.
So I'm going to return to the super chats because I want to get these done.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so Sean was asking where to send the MREs. I actually have a video called How to Support SFO, and my address is in that video. Mail me whatever you like. It doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Oh, Archeon sent $2. He says, "You never watch my stuff." I don't watch anyone's stuff, frankly. It's hard to keep up with everybody, dude. Like, I can't watch every YouTuber. Even the ones that I like, I can't watch them all the time. It's just how it is, you know? Unfortunately. Zarindu gave me $5. Here's some shekels from the Democratic People's Republic of New Zealand. I'm sorry, my friend. $5 from Almost Had It. As the saying goes, America is the worst country besides any other country. Go USA.
What was that infamous quote? Like, democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others we've tried.
Yeah, that also applies to capitalism, too, and economics. Same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicholas Peloso for $10. The Epstein meme is dead, and unlike the man, it died of natural causes. My prediction for the next meme is that Prince Andrew didn't kill himself. Oh my God.
Did you see that interview?
Yeah, holy shit.
I couldn't sweat back then, but I can sweat now. What a defense.
Yeah. I guarantee that guy fucked some kids. There's no way he didn't.
Didn't he have a picture taken with his arm around one of them?
Yeah, like a 14-year-old girl or something.
That's pretty fucking damning, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks bad.
That's pretty fucking bad. He was basically kicked out of the royal family. Did you hear that a couple days ago?
I didn't hear that, but I heard that he was taking a back seat or something, diplomatically worded.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what it means, is that he's no longer like making money from the royal family anymore. He's not doing like appearances. He's done. His job is to now go into hiding and shut up for the rest of his life.
That's fair.
So here's $5 from Hobo Frodo. Unfortunately for me, game boomers cannot fill the void of Super Best Friends play, so I'm out for now. Hopefully you succeed in your own way. Hobo Frodo watches SFO exclusively, and I think he's made that clear before, and that's fine. Like, there's a lot of people who watch me who don't want to check out my gaming content. They just want to check out this stuff, and that's completely fine. But I will not stop shilling it, because I think Dave and I and Naomi, we all put on a pretty good show sometimes, you know?
I agree. I think that it's got a lot of potential. It's got to have that spark, you know?
Yeah.
I think a channel is a pile of lumber.
Yeah.
And then you got to either put a lot of wood on it, or you put very few good pieces of wood on it, so that it'll burn long enough that when the spark finally hits, you can continue to put wood on it and keep the fire going.
Yeah, yeah. I know that, like, back before SFO blew up, it did feel like it was sparking for a few months. It's been like, oh, more people are showing up. You know, this video is doing better than average. Oh, this one's doing better than average too. Like, you can kind of tell for a few months before a channel gets like a huge hit that something's about to happen. You can kind of feel it when you're uploading and when you're talking to people, you know? And
yeah, I could feel it with mine. I was calling it.
Yeah. I've started to feel that with Game Boomers since about September now, so I'm hoping it'll come along. And
I think that is probably correct. I don't know if it's going to be like massive immediately or anything, but I do think that this upturn is not like a temporary thing.
Yeah. And additionally, I also feel, because like the growth with SFOs slowed down in the past month, but as soon as I started doing daily videos, sub growth slowed, but view growth started to skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I feel like there's probably going to be another SFO boom soon as well. I'm not going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year like I wanted to. That was my New Year's resolution. But there's going to be another boom soon, I think. Let's keep going though. Architect of Fate, $2. Was it Mossad, the SAS, or the Clintons who got Jeffrey Epstein? I'm not sure. Probably the Clintons, honestly, if I had to guess.
I was going to say that as well. Who killed Jeffrey Epstein? Probably 2 people. I'm going to assume it was 2 people came in. One guy went in to strangle him. The other guy was on side in case he somehow was able to fight back, but he probably held back so that he wouldn't accidentally bruise him in a place he shouldn't.
Yep.
He was the emergency backup guy, and you don't want more people than that to make it as easy to hide as possible. And then he was strangled to death. They try and make it the best they could, look like he hung himself, and then they left.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what happened.
We'll have more to say about that in a little bit later in the stream, but for now, here's from Tor DeMarcus, who watches my stuff pretty consistently. Hey, Mah-Dry-Bread, since you like to know where people found you, I found your Advance Wars. Really glad your Pokemon challenges work out for you, and it's really cool to see you on Devo's channel, because he also watches me quite a lot, too. So thanks for the donation.
I said thanks to him in the chat earlier when he first posted that.
And then $2 from Adam Graham. I'd like you a lot if you weren't so much like me. I don't get it. But thanks.
I don't know if I get it either.
And let me see. There's a couple others that just came in. I'll get them real quick. There's 3 from a guy named Hoomer. 1, the UK is the most cucked Western country in the world. Now that'd probably be Germany or Sweden, frankly. 2, you should put Streamlabs as an option. YouTube takes too much money, and your videos are great and very well researched. I always show your video about abortion to show all the points of the view in that topic in an objective way. I asked Bolivians to fact-check your video about Evo Morales, and it passed. Thanks very much. I actually am considering bringing Streamlabs back, just because it's like a very easy way to do donations into directly into PayPal. The only thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do what a lot of Twitch streamers do and make like flashing things appear on the stream whenever you donate. Like you can get a song or like words appear in the stream and like there's like an animated GIF or something. I'm just like no. Like especially when I'm doing Game Boomers, I'm putting on a show. You know, I don't want it to be filled up with alerts. No,
that's the same reason that I stopped doing that. I never had like big on screen alerts. I sometimes would have a sound effect for it. I got rid of almost every sound effect. Unless it's like something really, really big, just because I'm like, this is kind of annoying and it distracts from the show for the YouTube audience who's not really getting anything out of it. So I'd rather just, if they send a message with a donation, then I'll make sure to read out the message. But even on my live streams, I'm talking to the chat all the time anyway, and I have the chat on screen as well because I think they're part of the show.
Yeah, same here. I mean, one thing that the money has allowed us to do is to actually start doing cosplay when we do games on Game Boomers. And that's actually like...
That's fun.
That might become like a cornerstone of the show going forward because, man, I look like Chris Griffin trying to be Luke Skywalker when I dress up in that for Jedi Fallen Order. Holy shit,
That's great.
Did you see that?
I didn't know. That sounds great.
Yeah, I dressed up as Luke, Dave dressed up as Han Solo, and Naomi got to be Princess Leia.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I dressed up as... And I have like... Okay, Dave has like an old blonde wig that he tried to be Trump with, and it kind of failed. So I just stole that, and I used it. And it kind of works as like a Luke Skywalker wig a little bit, but I'm way too fucking fat. So I look like Chris Skywalker during that playthrough. And it's just like, Jesus. Naomi has hair long enough to do like good Princess Leia buns, and she fits into the costume. Like she's a pretty good Princess Leia. Dave is a pretty good Han Solo. He kind of looks like a Han Solo, not a Han Solo, but it works.
I was gonna say he looks like disheveled Han Solo. This is Han Solo after the movies, and like he goes back to smuggling and gets really into like he just hangs at bars drinking because it's like, oh, my 5 minutes of fame of saving the galaxy are over now. This is Han Solo the depressing after years.
Are you looking it up now?
No. I'm saying how I think he would look.
Well, that's
basically
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
that's the thing is you see him and you instantly know what he's all about.
So yeah, we have like Mario costumes and Zelda costumes, and basically I've picked up costumes for like if it's a game that has multiple games that the costumes will be used for. I basically just picked up a costume that can be used, right? Because like Naomi, we have like a Princess Zelda dress, and I have a Link costume, so we played the new Zelda game on Switch, which was really good. But how much? Wait, $5 from Nicholas. How much for a sexy cosplay shoot featuring Dev and Dave? Probably in the 4 to 5 figure range. I'll do it, but it's gonna be a lot of money. I'm not above doing that. I'll give the public what they want if they actually want it.
Are we caught up on super chats right now?
I think so. Graham just asked about my gaming channel, so I'll shill it. It's on Twitch, and then I upload it to YouTube later. It's called Game Boomers. There it is. We have been going for nearly 3.5 hours, and actually, I have to go and record Dumping with Scrump soon because I have
Welcome to every conversation with me.
I have a guest on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's going to be a guy involved with limited run games. Did you see that video that I did?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I did see that. So I wasn't familiar with the name Limited Run Games, but once you said it, and you said what they do, I realized I actually have one of their things behind me because back when I was sponsored by Loot Crate for a hot minute, they actually sent me a physical copy of a game, and I believe that was from Limited Run Games.
That's cool. It's too bad they
I think it was Retro City Rampage, which is a cool-ass game.
Red Pen Dragon's asking if the PayPal donation went through. DM me. I generally try to... Here's the thing. Like I get thousands of DMs, and I can't reply to everyone, but I can at least read them. So what I like to do is I check and reply to DMs early in the morning, like 7 a.m., because no one else is awake. And then I don't like instantly get a reply because I can't like manage 50 conversations with people. You know, it's just not possible.
I can feel that. Like I'm
sure you have the same.
Since I blew up, I just get... Like, this is why I'm always appear offline on Steam, for instance, because if I go appear online, it's an impromptu AMA.
Yeah. Same with me. So actually, you know what? Okay, I want to preface this. I'm not pro Jared or anything. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes. I've had like a dozen people unsolicited send me nudes since the channel blew up.
How many of these were funny nudes? Like, haha, here's my dick.
Well, first of all, they're all either girls or trans women.
Okay.
There's no like dudes being like, look at my penis. No, it's all like women. And none of them were funny. They were all like serious. I was like, okay.
See, I haven't had that happen yet, but I know it will happen eventually.
See, I think it's because of the different circles of YouTube we go in. Like for me, it's full of shitlords, and it's full of trannies too. So,
yeah, mine has plenty of shitlords, but it also just has tons of, I guess you'd call them normies to some degree, like gaming normies, which is different.
Yeah. You know, people who just like they want to see a review or they want to see like a challenge or a let's play of something.
Yeah, like they're there for fun.
Yeah. There is one thing. There is yes, Suomi. I have in fact confirmed that most of them are personal nudes. Yes. Because I know what these people look like. They also send like non-nude pictures, or they like okay, they'll post like a non-nude picture in the main Discord, and they'll be like, "Here I am, guys," and then like later I'll get like a nude, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm not gonna reveal who though.
That's so weird to me.
I know. Like I don't want to be rude about it, so I never like say anything bad. I think it's just like a side effect of like the one drop of celebrity I might have, which really isn't that much, you know? So when you say, for example, like with Pro Jared, there was a power imbalance, I get it because I don't even need to ask. I understand what you're talking about.
And this is a YouTuber thing in general. I have another YouTuber friend who's bigger even than me. And he has told me, like, first of all, he gets thirst tweets at him all the time in his replies. It's like, that's definitely a thirst tweet. Mm-hmm. Just to every innocuous thing he says.
Yep.
Just because he's he's tall and he's got a good smile and he clearly has money. You can tell because he's he's a big YouTuber.
Mhm.
And when I brought up to him private, like, look at these thirsties, he's like, all right, I have had a few times in my inbox someone tweet me a picture of their boobs and be hitting on me. And I just don't reply, but I was tempted to reply by saying, please, this is my business email. Yeah, so that is just a YouTuber thing. Obviously it depends on the circles you run in. He does not at all run in a circle that is like yours.
Mhm.
However, there's something about being mildly internet famous that just makes some people want to show you their boobs. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. So
it's inevitable.
I do have to wrap this up in the next few minutes because I'm going to be doing that interview, and that's going to be probably not a stream, guys. It'll be recorded. I'll edit it. I'll probably put it out tomorrow, which means that the Blizzard video is probably going to be pushed back. I have like a big Blizzard expose I've been planning for weeks. That's probably pushed back again as I do this interview.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few more things to go over though. So we've talked about doing something for your channel at some point because your channel is a gaming channel. And I do a gaming side channel, so
yeah.
What do you think? Do you have any ideas? Any suggestions? Any hopes?
Yeah, we still got to figure it out. We got to like stream together on Twitch or something, or do a let's play or something. We'll figure something out.
We could do a pre-recorded thing if you want, or we could do a stream. It doesn't matter.
I'll vote for whatever.
The thing with Game Boomers is that I mentioned this to you in private, but I can just say it in public. Is that Game Boomers? It really relies on people being there, like in the room with us, because there's a couch and there's like seats and we do a whole thing. Right.
Yeah. It's weird if I were to be like a main guest kind of guy, but also only there in voice. There's a strange disconnect that causes. And so, if we were to stream something together, play something together, it would probably be webcams or no webcams and just playing a game online together or something like that.
Or it could literally just be like a let's play that we record over Discord or something.
Yeah, like some straight up, like my Discord server is actually a partnered server too, so the audio quality is really, really high.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. So I'm assuming mine is not.
No, it's not, unfortunately. You can see publicly if it is, but you have to apply for it. That's why, like, sometimes you can see it on camera in my background. The wicker chair behind me gives a weird effect on camera, so I cover it with my Discord partner hoodie. They sent me a free Discord partner hoodie.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm a Discord partner.
There's certain restrictions that Discord puts, I know, on like people that work with them that I probably wouldn't go for that because, being part of YouTube, there's a chance that my channel will just get yeeted if I even try to do that. So I'm just gonna lay low,
Yeah,
I know Sargon's server is huge. It's like I think nearly 100,000 people in there or something, but he's not partnered,
Yeah, I'm actually I'm really big on turning down a lot of sponsorship things. I always have because they want to like buy my opinion or something like that. And so there's only actually I'm a partner of Discord because my contract does not in any way, like, first of all, it's barely anything other than my Discord server has a little boosty thing. And like the audio quality on it's better and there's like unlimited emotes or some crap. It's like it's just that the users get more features. But like for me, I can do anything I want. I can say fuck Discord if I want to say fuck Discord. There's no restriction on me. They can unpartner me whenever they want if they really want to, but they don't really have any interest. The only sponsorship I have is as of a week ago, I'm sponsored by DX Racer, the chair company, but I've literally been sitting in a DX Racer chair on camera for 5 years. So they didn't buy my opinion. I'm saying the same thing I said before I got sponsored, which is I used to have tailbone pain. I don't anymore. This chair kicks ass. Like, you're not buying my opinion. I've been recommending this chair for 5 years.
Yeah, see, I feel the same way. I won't take a sponsorship unless it's a product I use. So, for example, I have a Humble Bundle link because I use Humble Bundle, For a while, I was part of the Dollar Shave Club. So if I ever go back to that, I'll probably get a Dollar Shave Club sponsorship. But you keep seeing people get like, they get sponsorships for like phone games that are obviously kind of shit. And it's like they just took the money, and it's like that.
I have turned down Raid Shadow Legends. I have turned down Raid Shadow Legends 7 times in the last 2 months. They have multiple companies that reach out to you trying to get you to do a sponsorship with Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, I've gotten offered by them too. I'm not going to do it. Nope.
Yeah, it's I don't blame anyone who does it. I have friends who did it. I don't blame them at all. it's not, I have a pain in the ass value on a sponsorship, and it does not meet that threshold.
So, a few things I've thought about, and because I talked about with you about potentially doing a Pokemon challenge, but you do so much Pokemon, you know?
I can't handle more Pokemon than I already do.
And the thing is like, I love Pokemon, and I haven't played a Pokemon game that I've truly loved in fucking years, and I'm like aching for it. So maybe at one point when like your Pokemon schedule dies down, we can probably do one. I'd like the idea of doing
probably.
that. I've also thought about doing Darkwood with you too, because that's a game that like, what's a good way to put this? It's a game that you can't stream unless you've already beaten it, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to put that.
Because you will it will be the most boring stream. You will spend so much time doing nothing, doing the wrong thing, thinking you're getting ahead and you're not. It's a game that you have to like play it and know it, and then you can actually commentate over it.
What if I stream it, having not played it in like 4 years, just to spite you?
You could try.
Just to spite my own viewership.
But like Darkwood is a game that I'm really getting into recently. I'm like kind of
it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was like,
it's so thematically awesome. I still remember the first time I played it, being terrified, huddled in like the corner of my house on the first night. Like after the whole tutorial area, obviously. But like I was in the first night, like I like push a dresser in front of like there's like a hole in the wall. This is an old version of the game, so I don't know if it's still like this. But
it's still like that, yeah.
Push the thing in front of the hole in the wall, and like I close the door, and like the music, like the sound effects are ramping a little bit, and I'm like I occasionally peeking around trying to figure like, oh, did they get into that room? Like the generator gave out really quick because I didn't really have anything prepared because I was new to the game. And it's like, oh, what a stressful fucking night.
Mm-hmm. Like,
and nothing got me. Nothing got in the house, but still, like, Jesus, that moment.
The game becomes almost unfun at some point when it gets too stressful, because you're like, I should just be playing something else. You know?
I can see that happening.
But like, if you know what to do, the game, like the scary parts of the game kind of melt away, and it turns into like a very good, very competent survival sim. You know, like Minecraft. You know, you have to like build your house and then like survive the night, right? Minecraft has like a survival element to it when you're not just building stuff. It kind of plays like that, where it's like the fun is actually in, you know, gathering materials and beefing up your defenses. And there's actually a guy making a mod of the game now, because for a while the mod scene for that game was dead, but there's a guy making a mod of it now where it's just repeated nights and see how long you can survive. It's like, okay, that could actually be a really fun game. But yeah, we could try doing that. And like, I've learned the hard way that you don't want somebody who knows too much about a game to just lead you through it on a Let's Play or on a stream. Sure. Because it kind of kills it, you know? It's like, oh, just go here. And it's like, but I want to... It's like, no. You know, it kind of ruins what you're trying to do, right? Yeah,
let someone explore. Have fun. Yeah. Experience the game.
But even though I've played through the entirety of, like, the first area and part of the second, if you and I did that, I could be like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do unless you ask me. But I can, like, comment on certain story points that are happening in the game, because first of all, half the game's in fucking Polish.
Yeah.
And secondly, is like things aren't really made clear. It's one of those games where it's like by the end you're like, what actually happened? And you gotta
like dig to understand what happened. I kinda like that though. I like wiki diving.
Yeah, wiki diving can be fun. I spend too much time
even about games I don't play sometimes, like just diving through a wiki, that can be a really fun afternoon.
Yep, same with me, even though I can't do it anymore because it's too much
it is not enough time consuming. Yeah, that's the problem. So, like, I'm gonna be working like crazy after this stream.
Me too.
Like, you got no idea how much is left on my list for today.
I've got to do a Game Boomer
happy 420
stream.
By the way.
I'm what? Sorry.
Happy 420.
Is it 420? Oh.
A clock.
Oh, yes, it is. I just noticed.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. See, I have to do a recording with Scrump, and I'm still doing Game Boomers tonight in about. Game Boomers will be in like 2.5 hours, so I have a lot to do.
You got a busy day, especially if you're going to have Dumping a Scrump edited for tomorrow.
Nah, I usually just edit overnight. I don't do much sleeping.
Okay, that's a problem.
I sleep like between 4 and 6 hours generally, and then like once a week I'll sleep like 8. And I usually feel fine.
You know, a big part of weight loss is getting enough sleep.
Yeah, I know, but I actually can't sleep that. Like there'll be times like I'll hop in bed, I'll be like, I have nothing going on tomorrow, I'm just going to sleep, and I wake up in 6 hours, and I'm like, well, I'm up.
Yeah, I used to have really severe sleep issues. I only recently started fixing, and it's starting to get a little bad again, but I had severe sleep issues for like 4 years. I've got it cleaned up passably, but you know, I understand how it is where it's like everything in my body I should be able to sleep right now, but it is simply not occurring.
Well, yeah, and in terms of doing like something for your channel, those are the only two things I can really think of that like would really work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, well, maybe if you think of something else, or if like
I still want to look into a bunch of games,
or if it turns out that like it actually takes us 6 months to do this, and then you're okay with Pokemon by then because it's been so long. Maybe then we could just do that.
I can think of a lot of games that could be cool, just depending on the genres that you're interested in. Like I've been wanting to do a multiplayer playthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2 forever. That could be fun if you end up being into that game, because I have no idea if you are. There's all kinds of little things. Yeah, that's like a tactics RPG, really good one on PC. If you were to see a little bit of gameplay of it, you'd kind of get what it's all about.
Yeah.
But that's a really cool branching story-driven thing. The multiplayer is built in from the ground up, so it like is very natural having multiplayer in that. It's a cool game. There's a lot of games though that I need to just look through and consider.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have reached the end. There's only one last thing to do. All right, before we end it. Chat room, get ready. I want you all to be hyped. We're actually going to seriously discuss who killed Jeffrey Epstein. We have the details. We have leaked documents from the Clinton camp. Okay? We have people coming forward. We have evidence. We have information. All right? The question will be answered definitively on this stream. All right? Are you ready, Dry-Bread?
I think so.
Okay. Let me just get it out here. And